code 800. LUMEdeodorant.com, code 800. For an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. Love it or return it for free. That's LUMEdeodorant.com, code 800.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/save. That's UQORA.com/save.
Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
I want to know who produced that. Give me a break.
I've been sworn to secrecy.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The blizzard of 2023 has concluded, although it's still lingering out there. Feet of snow. Actually, they did get a lot of snow to the north.
Oh, yeah.
The North Country got a lot, and we didn't really get much, although it was blustery. It was slippery. You were driving during it yesterday.
Yeah, I had to run up to our office, our River Hills office in Barneveld, and once you hit the first bridge as you're going up 12 north.
Yeah, it was
right after the shopping center. It started
even down here. I mean, once that snow started in the afternoon, it was coming down, just windy and cold and biting. But here's the good news. If you want any good news, I have it. 45 tomorrow. Sunshine. And then 40s all weekend long with rain and clouds and sun and whatever. But what I'm saying is what's out there, the snow that's out there will be gone before you know it.
That's Central New York for you.
And next week doesn't look like it's much different. 40s, maybe upper 30s, that sort of thing. It's something. It's going to be. Are you putting heat on me? What is wrong with you?
No, I put on.
That's not cold. That's hot coming down here.
Oh, so Smitty said they were messing with the units in here yesterday.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
No, he said they were. It was hot in the studio.
I would say open a window, but you can't do that in this building.
No, you can't. Hold on, let me just see the mode here. Oh, cool. There we go.
Yeah, because it's a little too toasty. I'll be sleeping.
I
by
wonder if that's going to
6:45.
impact the unit if we have the central air unit on when it's 20 outside.
I don't know. Okay, last night Syracuse basketball had a goodie. They looked really good.
Yeah, they spanked them.
I realized it's LSU. I don't think LSU has won. I think they've lost their last 6 road games. But the way I looked at it, if they were going to break that losing streak, they would be doing it in Syracuse. And they didn't. Syracuse came out strong. Judah Mintz had a great game. There you have that. Let's see. What else? This morning, I have a bunch to get to. I don't know if you're following this story, but there is a dog flu that is going around, and it's apparently very dangerous for your pet.
Yeah, so we spoke with one local veterinarian who will join us this morning to give us more detail. But he basically told me last night it is a mystery as to the causative agent of the flu, but there are several precautions that can be taken. So.
What kind of language are you using?
Direct quote.
The causative, what?
The causative agents.
Agents. All right.
So
who are these agents?
I want to know.
This is like almost a COVID spreading around dogs. It's like a dog flu, the bird flu. Remember what that did?
Yeah.
But in this case, it's your pet and can make your pet very, very ill.
Well,
so
my dog's not leaving the house.
How do you prevent it? And is it transmitted from humans? By that statement that you just made, I'm not sure that we know. Anyway, we will talk with Dr. Dan Gilchrist from the Waterville Veterinary Clinic and get the latest on this. It is listen, for people, and I think you're one of them, dogs mean the world to people.
Yeah.
And you don't have any kids.
Nope.
Your kid is your dog.
That's right.
Yeah.
Although some may criticize me for that, but oh well.
Who would criticize you?
Well, a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't say that's your child because it's not a real child," and
okay,
you know how people can be.
Anybody that's having that conversation,
I know. I know. Listen,
I'm
they
just
got
saying.
too much time on their hands.
It's obvious it's not a real child.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
say to one of these PETA people. So there's a puppy out. It's a classic, right?
Right.
They've
never been able to answer you on this.
If there's a puppy drowning in a pond, a dog drowning in a pond, and a little kid, who do you save first? And the answer is always, always, always. Well, I would have to save both of them. Well, no, that's not the question. You see, we're giving you an ultimatum here. Not an ultimatum, but we're giving you a choice. You must follow this scenario. You can only save one. Mm-hmm. Which one would you save?
Oh, looks like about a time.
I don't like this question. We're not going to continue with this interview, and that's really what ends up. Hold on, I'll get the right camera here. Boom, on YouTube, we are live. So that's the deal. By the way, Julie says she loves Dr. Dan. Says he is the best.
Yeah, my sister has and my mom bring their animals up to Waterville, so.
I will say that there is if you have a kid that doesn't know what they want to do in life, I would think, and it's not an easy school. I'm told getting into veterinary school is not easy.
No.
There's a lot you have to go through, and it's very difficult, very similar to becoming a medical doctor.
Yeah.
But we have a shortage. I mean, if there's an emergency and you're not a customer of a client or a patient, I guess they would call it.
Yeah, right.
Of one of the places around here, chances are you're going to have to go out of town. You have to go to Syracuse. I've had more people have a problem trying to save a dog on a weekend, and they cannot find a single place to go. And even in Syracuse, they're saying, well, we can't fit any more this weekend. So they're, I knew one person who drove all the way to New York City to get their dog taken care of.
Yeah. There was an incident.
And I said, while you're down there, how about they check your head a little bit? Examine your brain.
Psychological evaluation.
See, I'm not a dog owner, though, so I don't get it. Yeah. I don't understand it.
Well, there was an incident we had one time.
To be honest, I wouldn't take my kid there. I'm sorry. If we can't find one
rough it out.
We're going to rough this thing out.
There was the vet we go to, I won't mention, they gave us 3 options when we had an issue a little over a year ago. And it said, well, you can go to Albany, you can go to Weedsport, or you can, and they were throwing out all these random names.
You're absolutely right.
Actually, Waterville was going to be, I don't know if they want us to broadcast this, but we called them, their emergency line, and because they weren't so busy, they would have taken our dog had we needed to.
And a lot of it just is normally they're swamped.
Right,
there.
Exactly.
I also think sometimes you want to find the right veterinarian, and everybody loves Dr. Dan.
Yeah.
He'll be on a little later. Julie says he's semi-retired, saved my cat a few years ago. But we've run into a few veterinarians where, you want to, you're at a point where, I'll give you a good example.
Okay.
So the cat, there are lines drawn, right?
Yeah.
If it's a dirty cat, I could not live with that.
No.
You can't be losing furniture. You'll lose furniture. You'll lose carpeting.
Yeah.
You'll have that smell when the mailman comes or the postal person. Mine's a female. She's wonderful. When she comes to the door to drop off the package and the odor just puffs right out into her face, that's embarrassing. You can't have it.
Yeah.
So you go to your veterinarian and say, we've done everything we possibly can. We cannot stop this cat from wetting. We're going to have to, either give it up or put it down.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people will hate me for saying that, but sorry. You know what I paid for that Flex Steel Barcalounger? That thing was over $1,000, and now it's out on the street.
Yeah.
So
somebody who could tolerate the smell just
somebody will pick that right up. They'll be like, listen, I can't smell. I had COVID. I can't smell a thing. I'll sit in this thing for a good year and a half.
Or they'll sell it gently used by a cat.
But they'll scold you. Like you don't get rid of a cat for that reason. Well, I do. But if you have a clean cat, they're wonderful, and so are dogs. People love their animals. My wife has a cat. She loves that cat more than she loves me. I will guarantee you that. This morning, we'll speak with Jonathan Savage on this is the question we asked of Dr. Hall yesterday, and the World Health Organization wants answers on this new respiratory illness surging in China. So are we dealing with another thing that the Chinese are going to try to cover up and it spreads around the world? I don't know. On my headline here this morning at 7:15, we have a little sheet every morning where we follow along, usually, and sometimes we veer off. But this morning we're going to try to stay focused. But Cliff Crandall, what do you think his title is? At least on my sheet, it's Certified Badass.
Yeah, that's what I think was an appropriate title for him.
Cliff just recently won a body sculpture contest, a bodybuilding contest, and he took first place. I saw pictures of him, and I could not believe what I was looking at. The man is in his 70s, and he is in far better shape than so many of us.
Yeah. I almost feel like when he walks in the studio this morning, I'm going to feel a level of shame that I haven't felt in quite some time.
We'll do our weekly legal stories with Andrew Reed. This morning, we're going to debut our new commercial for Real Men Get Tested.
Which I saw that preview.
Did you see it?
It was awesome.
I'm really happy with it. And I'm going to tell you something. Tim Reed is an actor.
Yeah.
He is good. It was so nice to be working with someone who carried me, because I certainly need that. He was so good in the spot, and our goal. And Tim is a comic at heart. Mm-hmm. He loves things that are humorous and funny. And you know what? We could all sit around and mope and just get miserable over the fact. And certainly we both did. That we both had been told we had cancer. That was a terrible, terrible thing. But without plowing forward, continuing with your sense of humor, if you don't do that, you'll just sink into a hole of depression, and that doesn't help heal you. A positive attitude does. So, and the other part of this is really true. Men are worse than women when it comes to taking care of their bodies and preventative health measures. And if you can catch cancer early, you have increased your chance of survival, living a normal, regular life, like fully recovering. Mm-hmm. Your chances are increased tremendously, certainly depending on the cancer. So the idea is to get tested, to get the screenings done, follow your doctor's orders, all of that stuff. But real men get tested for cancer. We have a brand new holiday campaign coming out, and I'm pretty darn excited about it. We'll debut the commercial. The way I'm going to do this is we'll play it on the radio, the audio of it, but I'm going to post it on our website, so you'll be able to go to it, and we'll time it out where everybody can watch it at the same time if you're near a computer. And it's worth checking out. I hope you do.
It's really good.
Because it's just, the idea is through maybe a little humor, we send the message out, if you're a male, get tested for cancer. If you are somebody who's around a male, and you know they're procrastinating, slap them in the head, get them going. Get them, make sure they get tested. Also this morning, Ryan Nobles will be on a little later on here this morning. The road's not that bad this morning.
No.
I think they're in pretty darn good shape.
They cleaned them up pretty good.
I learned, so I didn't drive through any of this yesterday, but I learned something this morning. Whenever you get a new vehicle, thank you, Ricky Z, Steve Ponte Mazda.
Yes.
Whenever you get a new vehicle, that first snow, you get the feel for what the vehicle is going to be like. And there are a few things. It did seem that the defrosting was nice. I could get it, as long as it's plugged in, it doesn't take anything off your battery. It doesn't take anything off any gas.
Mm-hmm.
You can warm your car up in the morning, and it's ready to go.
That's really cool.
I love it. Obviously, you are drawing off your electric, although the big thing just recently happened. I'll get into it coming up. We got our electric bill. And, and I'll tell you what occurred, because now every night I'm charging my vehicle.
Oh, because you realize that it wasn't that bad.
I charge it every night. And the big question has been from my wife, I wonder what this is going to do to our electric bill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you about it in just a second. Anyway, you learn when you have a new vehicle on the first snow, you learn how's your vehicle going to react in the snow. And how are these tires going to work in the snow?
I have to get my snow
They're
tires.
all season. I don't have snow tires. But it was pretty good today. I'm quite pleasantly surprised.
Yesterday, it's always interesting when somebody, when the drivers of Central New York, excuse me, they experience the first snowfall, because as I was going up there, I mean, there was a line of tractor trailers, so that had something to do with it, but everybody was going 30. I mean, the snow was bad, but I mean, at some point, it's like, we've all been here before. Right, but I feel like people erased from their minds.
Yep.
Maybe everybody had new vehicles and they were testing them out, but some people were going a little bit too slow. I think.
I think you're probably. I think you're probably right. It's that first snow that kind of gets people. That gets people a little bit on the nervous side. Syracuse now has a. I'll get to. I have a bunch of comments already this morning.
I got some too coming in.
Syracuse already now has a new football coach. I got to tell you, I wonder about this choice. Wildhack saying that they hired this guy because he is a great recruiter, and that's what Syracuse really needs right now. I would agree they do need that, but it would have been nice to get a great recruiter with
head coaching
experience
yeah.
or even coordinator experience. He doesn't even have that. He has a 1 year as a offensive coordinator, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
1 year of that as a co-coordinator. So this is do you agree with that, Davey? The new coach, the new football coach.
There is something to be said about somebody trying to prove themselves, right? I mean, he's part of a very successful winning program, so obviously Georgia, who spends a lot of money on their coaching staff and on their program overall, would probably likely, really do their due diligence when hiring him as their defensive backs coach.
I get it, but he was 1 year in a co-coordinator.
Yeah, co-coordinator position. So it's almost like I think he's going to try and prove himself.
Here's the question that I have with Mr. Brown as the new Syracuse coach.
Yeah.
As you know, Georgia's facing Alabama in the SEC championship this Saturday, which you can hear right here. But what about if Georgia makes it to the national championship game? Will he stay on and help them out, or will he concentrate on Syracuse?
I think that he will stay on.
Well, that's probably part of the deal.
Just as the interim coach at Syracuse
Nunzio,
will stay on.
yeah.
Nunzio will stay on to
because
to
Syracuse
handle
still
the
has
bowl
to
game.
do their bowl game.
I'm hearing also that there are players that are saying they might not play in the bowl game. That better not happen.
Well, two of them's already are already transferred in the transfer portal. They were on the defensive side.
Schrader better play.
Yeah, I think he will.
I mean, I think he needs it, to be honest with you.
But
he needs a strong performance, and he could get it out of this bowl game.
But I was talking to Scott yesterday in depth about this new coach, and he suggested that he had strong ties to Temple and Rutgers and recruiting in Northeast.
Big Northeast recruiting, and that's what they were looking for.
Be interesting to see it.
Listen, Dino Babers had experience of turning programs around, and this one he just kept turning around negatively.
Yeah.
If they leave some of Dino Babers' coaches on his new guy's staff, maybe they'll help it be all right.
I guess. Let's see what happens here, right? Have you seen the story about everybody's going crazy right now over radar radar, what would you call them? Automated speed check
the
cameras on the New York State Thruway. People are going crazy.
Well, this was what everybody said was going to happen.
So, listen, I'm going to tell you something. You can go on the Thruway, and, let's just say, this is all hypothetical. You're driving down the Thruway, you're doing 85 miles an hour, and somebody whips by you, you don't even know what they're doing. Probably 100, easily.
Yeah, does it capture your license
And they're flying.
plate?
No, my point is, that would all get you in you'll be getting a ticket. So that would change everything. The other thing they could do is they could target you by using your Easy Pass. So if you go from exit 34 to exit 34A and you do it too quickly, they can figure that out. And very easily, just like they do on the canal, you went too fast, you're going to get a ticket. None of that is happening. So I would say to people, don't worry, at least right now. What just occurred is they're going to do the same thing that they did on the arterial here on construction sites. This is going to be a vehicle like a pickup truck with a radar camera on the top. The goal here is not necessarily to charge people with, and by the way, it won't be a mark on your license, but it would be a fine.
It's a civil thing, right?
So, but the goal here is to slow people down in construction zones. So I would say to that, as long as it's clear and you see it's there, I'm not necessarily thinking that's such a terrible thing.
Yeah, once you're aware of where those speed traps are,
well,
they're
mobile. They're mobile. These will be mobile. They'll move around, but they're going to be around. They're going to be moved in places where there's a construction zone. And if you're not slowing down at a construction zone, you're putting these men and women in danger.
Oh, yeah. No, the construction zone, I'm all for that.
That's what this is for. I'm almost completely...
It's not just red.
No. New Yorkers driving too fast may soon find themselves on the receiving end of an automated speeding ticket. So here's what they're saying according to the DOT and the Thruway Authority. It's meant to slow motorists down in work zones on controlled access highways using radar technology. The program is part of legislation passed by the governor in 2021. Governor Kathy Hochuli. Over a dozen locations in... she can't get it right. She just can't seem to make the right call. Over a dozen locations in the Hudson Valley, New York City, and Long Island being utilized for this radar technology. It's the same technology used against us on the arterial. And I hope they do it the same way, that there's a warning sign.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you right now, there was, and I'd be interested to know what the results were from that, how many tickets were issued or citations were issued, because everybody obeyed the work. At least when I was in the traffic of it, everybody was obeying the speed.
First-time violators on this will get a $50 fine. If a second violation occurs in an 18-month period, it's a $75 fine. Third and all subsequent violations are a $100 fine for violation with the same 18-month period. Fines are issued to New Yorkers within 14 business days, out-of-state residents within 45 business days, and you can dispute the fine online. According to the state, fines collected as part of the program will cover expenditures related to the program. If all expenditures related to the program are covered, excess revenue will probably be stolen by our legislators. They'll use it on something else.
Yes.
The state noted visible signage. This is the key here. Visible signage will be posted at each work zone speed enforcement location, just like what we had on the arterial.
Yeah.
So I know everybody's getting all panicky here, but I feel like this is exactly what we went through on that construction over there in New Hartford, Utica.
I'm all for that.
And as long as it's clearly placed there, it is going to slow traffic down. But in some of those work zones, I will tell you, you're flying along, and then all of a sudden you don't realize it, and it's moved down to 50 miles an hour, and you're trying to get through this narrow, and you're going fast. I mean, that's you got to pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm really not talking to anybody else. I'm not scolding anyone. I'm really talking to myself. Pay attention, will you? Let's see. I have Joe this morning with a few comments here this morning. We have no emergency vet services in Utica. We had to bring our dog after hours to Albany. I first called Syracuse. They didn't have a surgeon in. They directed me to Albany. Yeah, Joe, this is a problem. And, boy, as some entrepreneur that wanted to hire a bunch of veterinarians and open up an animal hospital, I think you'd be very, very busy.
Oh, indeed.
There's a huge need for that. You would think in some respects it's harder being a veterinarian than a doctor, says Mike. An animal cannot tell you its symptoms and what's wrong. Yeah.
Well, and think of like the simple procedures like shots or even just taking a temperature. You have a human, you're like, all right, sit still, be quiet, and deal with it, right? A dog flailing around and barking and trying to bite at you.
I mean, you'd love to be able to sedate some kid, but we don't do that to children. But you can do
anymore.
that. You can do that to a dog. Mike, I think the new virus in China primarily is hitting children. Fair is fair, considering COVID went after the old people, right? And it did. I'm hearing from Tim Reed this morning regarding our latest Real Men PSA. I was elected class clown my senior year in high school. Not so sure my parents were so excited of all the awards to be given in high school. Of all the ones out there, I got that one.
Yeah.
No,
I got
Tim,
something similar.
Tim is wonderful.
Yeah, and look at how he turned out.
He is wonderful in this commercial. Yeah, look at how he turned out.
So we have some app comments as well.
Can I finish mine? Or are you
Oh,
just
I
gonna
didn't know.
Steal the thunder.
I didn't know you had
I
more.
have just a couple more to get in here. Ann in Rome. Good morning. What time will the doctor be on? 7:40. Ann. This is so funny. She sent me a picture of her dog's closet. By the way, her dog is appropriately named Vino, as in wine. I'll be clearing a path in my entire backyard for him to run. Yes, I love my dog. And it's a double-racked closet, and the dog's outfits there must be, 50 of them, 100 of them. It's unbelievable. That's very cool. And then one more, Andrew. Dr. Dan is semi-retired, saved my cat a few years ago. This is Julie. The problem is there's no due process, and the registered owner is ticketed, not the driver. I completely agree with that, although they say you can dispute it online. Good luck with that. Which is why the reason there's no points on your license is because there's no due process. Okay, Andrew, you say you have some comments here.
I do. So this one actually came in yesterday afternoon, and then there was a follow-up last night from BB Got This. I know where he is located and need to have someone help me. I have reached out to the detective on the case, but it has not helped. Good evening. Can someone direct me to who I speak to for person of the week that has warrants and are being sought after? I seem to be going in circles.
All you got to do is go to Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers.
Yep, Mohawk Valley
Crime
Stoppers.
Look up Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers. There's an area for you to make it anonymous. Maybe you could respond to that person. Make an anonymous tip, and your name will never be attached to it. And there could be, if the person is apprehended, there could be a reward in there as well. Here's a little something on, I'll let you come back to your comments because I know you're doing something there. Jeff Manaski is no longer on the show. Jeff, for those that don't know, he and the company came to a mutual agreement, and Jeff opted to move on, and it's a great loss for us. We all remain friends, except for Davey doesn't like him much. But the rest of us, I'm joking, Davey. The fact is that, yes, greatly missed. However, Jeff has a reputation on this program that will be long-standing. Agree with that, Davey?
Correct.
All right, here it is. This woman says this. Now, all I'm going to
I already know what the story's about.
All I'm going to tell you is that my wife sent me this, and her response is, Manaski would keep it. LOL. So listen to this little story here. I think it's worth checking out here this morning, if I can get it.
Oh my God! I've got to show you this. Okay, firstly, make sure you're not around any kids.
Oh, no.
Don't be around any kids. I've got to show you it before the kids come back. I'm so excited. So basically, I'm a real sucker for everything to do with Christmas. the earlier the better for me, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so obviously I got suckered into buying this. But it's amazing. I think it's called Santa's left his wallet behind or something like that. Right?
It's a wallet.
Like North Pole, it has a reindeer. It's like a faux leather bonnet. Okay, so you leave it like by your fireplace, whatever. And then inside, it has North Pole credit.
So it's got a fake credit card. So it's a wallet with a fake credit card.
Good quality. It's basically like a proper.
And then you leave it out for someone like Manasis to see if he would take it.
At the back. No, it doesn't end there. It's bloody brilliant. I love it. It's got his bloody driving license.
The license is in there. Everything is in
Santa's
there.
license?
Yeah, yeah.
That is so
And
cool.
the question is, what would happen there?
If only I had thought of something. you
Yeah,
know?
I think
Somebody
we
make
used
a
to
good
take
buck on that.
a $20 bill at a gas station, put it down right there by the pumps, but we would connect a fishing wire to it, and we'd sit out there with cameras. Of course, it never made any sense because we were on the radio. So, where are you going?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Manasis. This respiratory illness we're talking about in China. This is worth getting into. I know we're going to deal with the dog issue coming up next hour, but let's start with this in China, and it is affecting children. Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio on right now with a quick update. Jonathan, what do we know about this? Good morning.
Yeah, potentially worrying spike in respiratory illnesses and clusters of pneumonia in children in China. Reportedly, some hospitals have been swamped in the north of the country, including the capital of Beijing. Health authorities asking the public to take extra care, take children with less severe symptoms to other facilities to help ease the pressure. And in an unusual step, the World Health Organization publicly announced it was asking for more information.
I thought that was interesting, and has the World Health Organization learned a lesson from COVID, possibly?
Well, yeah. I mean, the concern obviously is that we've been here before. Late in the year, a sudden surge in illness in China. The WHO knows we're jumpy about this kind of thing, and they know that there were accusations of a lack of transparency from both the WHO and China at the start of the COVID pandemic. So with people on their guard, I think they made a public statement that they wanted to know more. So what they have learned, what they're telling us, is that this is not anything new. They say they've not discovered any new diseases, any novel pathogens. And what this appears to be is that China locked down harder and for longer than everywhere else, and now they've opened up again. The kids are mixing, and they're getting the diseases they managed to avoid during the pandemic.
I almost feel that what we're learning is that we've seen our resistance lowered because of the protection that we created during COVID.
That's absolutely, I think, the case in the United States. And here I am in the United Kingdom. We also saw at the end of lockdown that first winter back to relative normal, when people did go back to pubs and restaurants and workplaces and schools, people picked up diseases in significant numbers compared to what they had before.
Jonathan Savage, as always, thank you. I know you're in a time restraint. We appreciate it this morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a great day. Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio. Mike is the guy who was in Charlie the Chocolate Factory, still a veterinarian up in north of Boonville.
In Lowville, right?
And I believe it's Lowville,
Yeah.
he's the guy we should reach out to.
Yeah, Charlie Bucket.
And by the way, that movie that's coming out, I had said, why are we doing it? You just had, what's his name?
Johnny Depp. Tim Burton.
Do a really cool, and I say just, it was probably what? 10
it was
years
a while
ago. Do what was a really cool a remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and that was, I think that was really well done. Now we're going to do another one, but I find it's a prequel.
Oh, that's
he's
interesting.
a child. He's a young.
So it delves into Willy's.
It digs into the whole Willy Wonka beginning before he became an adult, and Willy Wonka became what we all know. So this is the beginning. And I find that interesting.
It is interesting. They briefly touched on it in the Johnny Depp one where there was a scene his father was burning his candy or something.
They opened the door.
Yeah.
And that's where they're going here with this one. Okay, here's a story out of Mount Kisco, New York. A customer has filed a lawsuit, and I would too. They went to a chain called Chopped, CHOPT. It's one of these really cool, trendy restaurants. We have a couple around here. Chopped is a big salad thing. A lot of healthy foods, and you get your salads. You've seen the commercial. I don't know. It's the insurance commercial where it's all about. You become your parents when ... And the guy gets a salad, and he's like, no, here's $29 for your salad. No, I just wanted a salad for one. Okay, well, this is the trendy thing. You get a salad only, and you pay for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, the lawsuit filed on Monday, a woman in Connecticut says she went to the Mount Kisco chain, got her salad, and as she was chewing on the salad, a portion of a man's finger was in the salad. Turns out it's absolutely true. He had cut himself while making the salad, and they don't call that restaurant Chopped for nothing.
Oh, my God. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I would have a real problem with that. I mean, the emotional trauma that you'd receive from that would be never-ending.
I mean, for how frequently you wipe down the board and microphone, I can't imagine somebody's finger in your food.
Sandy Hook families have offered to settle with Alex Jones for a fraction of the money they were originally asking for. Originally, they wanted $1.5 billion. And to me, they deserved every bit of it. And I got to tell you something. That guy prints money. It's unbelievable. He sells. I
don't understand.
These people believe everything this guy says, and they follow him on the radio, and they buy his gear and his stuff. He's a victim, as they see it, and the guy's still making money. Although he's saying this $1.5 billion is going to send him to bankruptcy. So the families are saying, "Listen, we'll settle for $85 million."
From $1 billion?
From
$1.5 billion?
From $1.5 billion. So we'll see what happens with that. I think that is probably a way out.
Pretty generous way out.
Scientists who have nothing better to do have been out studying dinosaurs and what really sent them into extinction. And now they're saying in a new study that they were killed off by more than an asteroid. It was more than just that. 66 million years since dinosaurs roamed the Earth. Many may blame the asteroid explosive collision with our planet as the one thing that took them out, and now scientists are debating maybe that's not true. So this is they always say science is an absolute, right?
Yes.
Mathematics. It's not
guaranteed.
You're not going to sit and debate over 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 is what it is. But I do find in this type of science, we deal in a lot of theories. So it isn't 2 plus 2. Mm-mm. And you wonder, we come up with this theory, what's next, right? What is the next?
Yeah.
And by the way, they're saying that the conditions on the planet, climate change, even back during that time, 65 million years ago, there's a lot more to it that caused the breed, the dinosaurs, to become unstable. And there are some animals that still exist today, especially in deep sea, that they say come from the dinosaur age. Yeah. Kathy is on in Rome. Here she is. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to everybody.
Great to hear from you. Yeah.
Belated happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, Deb. You had a wonderful.
We have a new football coach too.
Okay.
Jonathan Smith
at Michigan.
From Oregon State.
Okay. What do you think of that move?
So I'm hoping, we had a poor season. We lost more than what we won.
Are you excited? Are you excited about this new coach? You feel there's a good deal?
I am excited.
You are. All right. Well, that's.
And also, I have to tell you, Bill, I'm a big Hall & Oates fan, and they're not friends anymore.
I don't know if they ever were friends, from what it seems like.
They're not just not friends; they're enemies right now. Yeah.
Yes, Hall is suing Oates over their contract and also their the financial situation. I'm disappointed because
I am disappointed too, Kathy. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. When you have two very close friends and they don't get along anymore, I can't go for that.
No.
No. I just can't,
here.
Kathy. I can't.
Yes, they're the best to get together.
Yeah,
Both have their music separately, but it's not the same.
You're right. Yeah, they will never be the same separately. Yeah. All right,
All
Kathy.
right.
Well, listen, it's great hearing from you, and happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to you.
You also. Bye-bye.
You have a great day. All righty. Yeah, that Hall & Oates thing is something.
I just think they're both out of touch with reality.
Andrew has some comments here.
Yeah, quickly, we have Lance and Lee. Where's the Izzo and Friends interview? I would like to hear their excuses for losing.
Yeah, what I like to do is just rub salt into somebody's loss. I just dig it right in there and shove it right in their face. We will have an interview with Mayor Izzo. Who else did he ask for?
And Friends. I don't know
and
what
friends.
who
Okay.
Izzo
All
and
right.
Friends are.
All right. Well,
I'd like the new mayor to come on.
By the way, we'd also like to have the new mayor. That was a request over and over again. And the other part of this is, remember, that was a very close race. Half of the people in Rome are happy with the turnout, with the outcome of the election. The other half, not so happy. So it's not as cut and dry, Lance. But in Lance's world, life is cut and dry. Any others?
Yeah, Deb and Remsen. It was a whiteout near Prospect. The roads were really bad yesterday.
They got hit hard. To the north, they got hit pretty good. So
we have a few more, but time constraints will not allow all of them. But I'll say Rudy and Lowville messaging in, listening way up there. Peter Ostrom is semi-retired.
And he played the role of
Charlie Bucket
in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Pretty cool. All right, we have a lot to get to next hour, including that veterinarian, Dr. Dan. We're going to talk about the dog flu that is everybody worried. Coming up.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica, Rome, W295DI Utica, Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Crash at sea. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It was a U.S. military aircraft that went into the ocean off the Japanese coast. At least one crew member was found dead as they searched for the others.
There were 6 people on board the Bell Boeing V-22 Osprey when it came down half a mile from Yakushima Island off southern Japan. A fishing boat reported the incident. Witnesses saw fire coming from the Osprey's left engine. Officials say it attempted an emergency sea landing.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Hamas is set to free 10 more hostages on this, the 6th and perhaps final day of a ceasefire. Their names have been handed over to Israel.
My family is not on the list for today.
Ifad Zahler's relatives still held captive. That includes a 10-month-old boy.
We try to remain hopeful.
Hamas has freed 12 other hostages yesterday. In all, they've released 60 Israeli women and children in this ceasefire, along with 21 foreign nationals.
As part of the deal, Palestinian prisoners also being released, 180 so far coming out of Israeli jails. There's no shortage of those. What is being worked on by the U.S., Israel, Qatar, and the Hamas go-betweens, an extension of the ceasefire and hostage exchanges. Crucial, too, in these recent days, humanitarian aid being brought into the battered Gaza Strip.
Fox's Greg Palcott in Tel Aviv. Republicans keep demanding more border security as illegal immigration keeps surging, and that's holding up a military aid package in the Senate for Israel and Ukraine. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is going to go to Texas today.
The holiday week did nothing to slow the surge. According to our CBP sources, there were more than 9,300 total migrant encounters in just the last 24 hours, with more than 2,800 alone in the Tucson sector and nearly 2,200 in that Del Rio sector where Mayorkas is heading.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And feel the difference of Relief Factor.
Good morning. WIBX 950 News Time, 7:03. I'm Andrew Dominio. Mostly cloudy, 22 degrees. Odds are your car has a lot of snow on it, so give yourself some time to warm it up and scrape it off. Your full weather forecast is on the way. This update brought to you by the Mad Dash to save cash during My Carl's Holiday Super Sale. Glam vanities with mirrors, dining sets, rocker recliners, and more. Keep more jingle in your pocket at My Carl's New Hartford Shopping Center. An open house is being held in Clay tonight to discuss the future of the Micron Technology Project. Micron is set to build a semiconductor plant at the White Pine Commercial Park that is expected to generate thousands of jobs for the area. A land use study is currently underway to find out what kind of development residents want to see near the plant. Tonight's open house goes from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. at the Clay Town Hall on Route 31. On November 27th, at approximately 3:15 p.m., Utica police were dispatched to the 500 block of Henry Street regarding a fight and shots being fired at an individual. Upon arrival, officers located several individuals in the roadway actively fighting. Upon exiting the vehicle, one party approached them and stated he was shot by another individual who fled the scene. Upon conducting a canvass for evidence, the officers located 2 spent casings and 2 live rounds in the roadway. Interviews with witnesses were also completed, leading to the development of a suspect. And on Tuesday, investigators with the GIV Unit and Criminal Investigations Division made contact with the suspect, who agreed to turn himself in. The child is 16 years old, and he is being charged with attempted assault in the first degree, criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, and criminal possession of a firearm. The State Attorney General's office says patients who were at Crouse Health might have been impacted by a data breach. The breach impacted medical transcription company Perry Johnson and Associates and Social Security numbers, insurance, and clinical information. That data can be used by criminals to cause financial harm and impersonate people. Anyone who believes they've been victimized can call 877-438-4338 for assistance. A lot of people will be making charitable donations during the holidays, and one state agency has issued tips to help folks avoid scams. The Division of Consumer Protection says one important thing is to check the legitimacy of the charity you want to give money to. Also designate any donations you make to ensure money will be used for its intended purpose. And never disclose personal information such as credit card or social security numbers when responding to an unsolicited charitable request. Finally, one of the most popular comedians on the planet is bringing his tour to Syracuse next year. Sebastian Maniscalco will perform at the On-Center War Memorial Arena November 17th, 2024. Maniscalco is known for his stand-up specials and also roles in films including the Super Mario Brothers movie and The Irishman. Seats for his show go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. WIBX 950 News Time, 7:06. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. For today, blustery and cold as lake snow in the morning shifts well north. Then some lingering light snow showers and flurries in the afternoon. Little, if any, new snow accumulation, high of 32. Tonight, mostly cloudy, mainly snow-free, low 28. And tomorrow, partly cloudy, not as cold, a bit breezy at times, a high near 45. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
22 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. It is 7:07. Sports brought to you by Country Suburban. Syracuse University has officially announced who will be leading the school's football program into the future. Fran Brown, who is currently the defensive backs coach at the University of Georgia, will be leading the Orange next season. Brown has never been a head coach and replaces Dino Babers, who was fired earlier this month. The term of Brown's contracts have not been made public, and his introductory news conference is scheduled for Monday. Meanwhile, speaking of Syracuse athletics, they put a whooping on LSU. The final score yesterday, 80-57, moving their record to 5-2. The Orange will visit Virginia on Saturday. Utica Comets on home ice tonight at 7 o'clock. Smitty, who will they be playing? Do you have that offhand? The schedule's over there. I neglected to see who their opponent will be, but there is live hockey. You know who they're playing?
Yeah, Belleville. The Senators.
Okay, all right. So the Senators of Belleville tonight. Puck drops at 7 o'clock at the Adirondack Bank Center. The star quarterback of the Jets will consider a return only if his team helps him out a little bit. That will be dependent on their chance to make the playoffs. Rodgers told the Pat McAfee Show Tuesday his health comes first. Then the question becomes if the team is in it and could make a run at the postseason.
They got to win every single game.
Yeah, the Jets are 4-7. But the way this season's been going, a lot of the wild card teams are kind of right around 500. So
like the Bills, 6-6.
Right. The Colts are the final wild card spot right now. If the season were to end today, they're at 6-5. So a couple games to make up on them. And finally, we'll give one more for you here. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has named the modern era semifinalists for the class of 24. Julius Peppers and Antonio Gates headline the group of 25 players, along with fellow first-time semifinalist Tiki Barber. Jared Allen, Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Torrey Holt, Patrick Willis, Willie Anderson, and Darren Woodson all return as semifinalists after failing to be inducted last year. WIBX 950 News Time, 7:09. We got more First News with Keeler in the morning next on your News Talk and Sports Leader WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
The Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is your community foundation. Together, we've invested $125 million in the community, thanks to people, families, and businesses that want to give back and build a brighter future. And you don't have to have big bucks to make a big difference. Join us as we invest in the future of our community. Learn more about your community foundation at foundationhoc.org.
Need new tires for winter? Then visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair today. Now through December 14th, save up to $70 instantly when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone, Blizzak, or Firestone Winter Force tires. Save up to $100 instantly when you use your CFNA credit card. Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair located in South Utica, Yorkville, Rome, Herkimer, and downtown Utica. And online at tolmanstire.com. Offer valid November 15th to December 14th, 2023. Cannot be combined with other offers. See store for details, subject to credit approval.
This year, give the gift of music from Big Apple Music. Locally owned and operated since 1979. A full-sized guitar is only $99. Want to go electric? Give an electric guitar and amp for just $199. Electric keyboards starting at $99. And full-size digital piano starting at $299. Big Apple has a great selection of ukuleles and guitars, including Fender, Gibson, Martin & Taylor at the guaranteed best prices. Open Sundays in December, noon till 5. Big Apple Music, Commercial Drive, New Hartford, or visit bigapplemusic.com.
AmeriConnect Visa cards from Americu connect you with more features, more benefits, and even greater rewards. Right now, open an AmeriConnect Visa card, and we'll connect you with the lowest intro rate possible for the first 12 months. Plus, qualifying members will earn reward points for every dollar spent. What are you waiting for? Visit Americu.org to apply today. Americu and you, let's connect. Membership eligibility required, insured by NCUA.
When you don't have enough to eat, all you think about is food. That makes it hard to give your best.
Nearly impossible to feel your best.
And it makes tough decisions even tougher.
At Food Bank of Central New York, all we think about is food too, and how to get it to the people who need it most. Think you can help? Give today at foodbankcny.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Income may be subject to state, local, or alternative minimum tax. Did you know that municipal bonds are a way for investors to support civil projects while earning federally tax-free income? The Erie Canal, which led to the expansion of the United States into the Midwest in the 1800s, was financed with municipal bonds. Are you looking to bridge the gap between the income of your working years and the income needed in retirement? Municipal bonds might provide the solution you're looking for. Henyon & Walsh is a leading specialist in tax-free municipal bonds and has provided investors with quality service and personal attention since 1990. Call now to receive their informative bond guide absolutely free. Dial 1-800-761-9761 to learn how to earn retirement income while keeping your taxes at bay. Just dial 1-800-761-9761 for a copy of their informative bond guide for free. No cost, no obligation. 1-800-761-9761. Henyon & Walsh Inc., member of FINRA and SIPC.
I want to tell you about the real estate agency called River Hills Properties, Andrew. You've heard of them?
I have, yes.
River Hills is the #1 real estate agency in the region, and we're talking about independent real estate agencies. They are independent because they started on their own, Bill and Robin Monjo, and they wanted to create something completely different. Let's do something different was the quote, I believe, the exact quote.
Yeah.
And let's do something that no one else is doing, and let's offer services that people don't normally get. Normally, around here, the lockbox is a big deal, and I know we talk about it. The reality is that when another agent wants to come in and bring somebody in to look at a home, they just show up, they get the code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Punch in the code, the little door opens.
It's Bluetooth technology now. So
It
guess what
is.
if there's a lockbox on a house in the northern country?
Oh,
you don't have
that's a problem,
service.
right?
Yeah, I've been there before.
So the key comes out. You're able to open it up. You walk through, and you're taking a tour. And from the seller's standpoint, the house is not in. You're not putting your best foot forward. The lights aren't on. The house isn't set. Sometimes you like to. I don't know, people will bake a cake or a pie or something like that. Whatever it is that you do in order to make that house perfect and ready to show helps with the process of selling it. River Hills, your listing agent is there before anybody comes. Your listing agent is there to answer questions. Maybe it's Andrew, and you make sure the house is in tip-top shape, ready to be shown.
You brought up the point about the lights. Even having the lights on and the heat cranked up as a person's going through the house psychologically will make all the difference.
I'm going to tell you, and the other part of this is if you're the homeowner and you're weird like I am, I'm right down to the light bulbs. I don't like certain light bulbs. I spend all my time in the hardware store debating over light bulbs.
There are so many options.
There
now.
are way too many options. I like the old style where it has a little yellowing and it gives you a warm feel.
You like that look.
Whereas that fluorescent look like in here makes me feel like I'm at work. I don't want to feel that way.
Or in prison.
So you're constantly your listing agent is working hard to make sure that your house is ready to be shown and that it sets off the proper feel. Don't you tell me that doesn't play a role. It does. It's the River Hills way of selling a home. In Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica, but they serve all of upstate New York. Online, riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Call 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. And somebody just said, well, you just gave them a 4-minute commercial. No, I gave a 1-minute commercial. There were 3 minutes of me and Andrew talking back and forth.
Exactly. And we were discussing light bulbs.
About pies and light bulbs. All right? I mean,
I'm serious. They have a quarter of an aisle at the hardware store now with different types of light bulbs. It's insane.
And you know what? Some of them, like I was there the other day, and maybe I'm just not very smart. Cliff Crandall is in there this morning. Good morning. But they'll put the displays up. So they have these displays.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, warm incandescence.
Yeah.
And then
slightly soft.
Clear breeze. Slightly soft.
Yeah.
But they have these little window boxes that supposedly will show you what the lights look like and what they look like dimmed. And then on top, so I'm like, all right, I'm looking for cool breeze. All right, now let me look through these shelves of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different types of bulbs. I can't find cool breeze. I've looked
like a Dewey
I've
Decimal
looked everywhere. There is no cool breeze here.
Yeah. Well, because people move them around.
They move them around, or they're out of stock. I mean, it's just whatever happened to the day, Cliff Crandall, when you just go in and you would buy a light bulb.
Yes, well, that's because there was only one.
There was one. It's like, 40, 60, 100.
Because there was only one, you liked it. Because
you liked it.
It worked.
That's right. You liked it. It worked, and you had no choice.
God forbid you get the wrong one. My girlfriend's father is an electrician, so we have him on the phone every time we go get a new light bulb. What was it? How many lumens? How many watts?
I know. It's terrible. They always say about dealing with toddlers, the wrong thing, if you're a new parent, the wrong thing to say to your toddler is, what do you want? What do you want to do? That's the wrong thing, because you're going to be sitting there forever. Now, if you want to give your kid a choice, because the kid should learn to make choices, you give them 3 choices.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do
That's
this, or this. And I would always end it with, you have 10 seconds.
I like that.
You have to add you got to add a time limit.
Well, that's because
Come on, let's go.
That's right.
Now, I don't think adults are any different than toddlers. We don't want 50 choices.
No.
Give me 3 choices. I'm going to pick one of the 3, and we're out the door.
But I like the time limit.
You got to have a time limit.
That's sweet.
Yeah. You have 10 seconds. Come on.
That's 10
Let's go.
seconds. And you carry a stopwatch.
Yes.
And you just pull it out.
No, Andrew's always there to hit the timer. There it is.
That is awesome.
Boom.
I like that.
Wow. Cliff Crandall, you are unbelievable. At age what again?
76.
76 years old.
God
But
bless.
I've gotten older since I was here last.
Yes.
Trust me, I've
And a lot
gotten
stronger,
older.
though.
I've got,
Yeah.
more,
How about that?
More. Yeah,
Hold
you
on.
got it.
There we go. Andrew,
I don't think we allow guns in the studio, do we?
I think that's good. I think you can hold up some of these photos that we can put
got
on
this
YouTube.
one right here.
All right. So I don't know what it's going to look like.
Hard to tell.
That's really good.
Whoa.
I got to figure out which camera that is.
Yeah, and
Back a little bit, Andrew, because it's out of focus. There it is. There's a shot of Cliff just a month ago, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, November 4th. And there's things that people aren't aware, And when I completed it and was in it, it made a difference for me as far as understanding.
yeah.
First of all, I'm all tanned up there. Well, that's sprayed on you.
Okay.
That is a coloring that is sprayed on. You pay to have it sprayed, or you do it yourself with these other kind of kits.
Sure.
But it's better to just have the professionals
Yeah.
spray your body. But I want to tell you something. It's almost painful.
Really?
Really?
They spray it on. People do not know this unless you're doing this, unless you're in it. And everybody out there that's competed knows.
Yeah.
They have this machine spraying this. You're in a little cubbyhole,
Like a little
cubicle,
booth, yeah.
and everybody's going in, and they spray you up and down just like a paint gun on the side of a house. But it is extreme cold.
Oh, boy.
And it hits you with this incredible coldness, almost painful.
I would
and
hate
you
it.
stand there,
Yeah.
and I said to the gal, "Why is it so cold?"
Right. Why couldn't you
And
warm it up?
Yeah, she says, because your body temperature will make this coloring just run down your skin,
okay.
and it'll just literally.
And the cold stops it from running.
And the cold freezes it to
Okay.
your skin.
Oh, my Wow. goodness.
Oh, it is that cold that it freezes it. And then you get sprayed the day before, so you've got your coloring.
Yeah.
And people wonder, why? Well, if you're under the lights, you can't see muscle line unless you have this dark tanning tone.
So it shows
you just are washed
right.
out. Yeah, you look washed out and sick. You look pale
It's
and weak.
It's almost like what you would do, like you have a beautiful mahogany table, and the
Yes.
and the coloring, the varnish that you put on it brings out
the
lines and
lines
the,
and the
yeah.
and so you need, for your muscles to show up, you need to have this color. You go
Okay.
on stage without it, man. You just
You're going
look
nowhere.
pale.
Yeah.
Is
You
this
can't
your
see
first?
anything.
Is this your first competition?
I did one in 1993. All of the agencies that were involved then are defunct, gone. As a matter of fact, all the people are dead.
Oh my God!
Basically.
Yeah.
And so when I went into this, because that was 30 years ago.
Well,
and
you were.
nothing-
Think about it. Even then, they had to be saying, "There, look at this old guy in here. He's 57 years old."
Yeah, well, there were a few.
Yeah.
In 1993, when I competed, I was in my 40s, and there were only a few, but everything has changed totally. So I was able to compete in the novice division.
Right.
So I was in the novice. This is a shot of me in the novice.
Here, I'll put that
There's
up
a
on-
couple people. Okay, yeah, there you go.
So that is with everybody else.
That's with 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds. That's with everybody. And I was a finalist in the novice, and I had a good time. It was a great experience. It was really challenging.
And this was a couple of weeks ago.
This was
Yeah.
November 4th, a few weeks ago.
All right.
And my posing coach, Brian, did an excellent job. I knew what I was doing. But my coach for training, like I told you, Kevin Conley, really, he had me ready. And
Is this Kevin Conley, the high school coach, or is it a different guy?
No, he's up at Utica College.
Okay,
He
UC.
teaches
Okay.
up there. Yep, and he's a competitor, and he knows his stuff. And well, I did the deal, but a couple of other things I want to make sure. I made a list because it's
All
early
right.
in the morning here. I don't want to forget to say I had to do that polygraph test.
Okay.
That's complicated.
So we'll talk about that. Cliff
Okay.
Crandall.
For the competition?
Yes.
Not a lot of
before.
people
in
know
studio.
that goes into this.
70. You said 77.
76.
76 years old right now, and just won a body sculpture
Bodybuilding competition.
competition.
I was in classic physique.
You
Yep.
you have to take a polygraph test.
Polygraph test.
Did
The
you ever
day
used
before.
anything
And it's
artificial?
not a joke test either.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought, okay, they're going to ask me a few questions. There's going to be a
Yeah.
person there that I'm going to be wired up a little bit. And no, it's a full polygraph exam.
Wow.
And it's just like if you went to a police station and you had to take one someplace
Okay.
or for a court.
And what is
I
the
had to
reason?
wire-
What is the reason for it?
to ask you a series of questions. There's almost 28 questions to know that if you've used anything that will counteract the fact that you're all natural.
I see. Okay.
You have used no drugs, no enhancements, nothing
Because
whatsoever.
you could use that and then stop taking it the perfect amount of time, and then it wouldn't show up.
And then it wouldn't show up.
Yeah, okay.
And you
Interesting.
can't. It's on all natural. The OCB is all natural. And so, some of the questions throw you off. I would love to see your face when this question. So they ask you all the questions first, so that you hear them. Because if you have a concern about one, in other words, it doesn't trigger in your mind, you don't know what they mean, you can ask. And then when you're all set, you got 2 fingers wired up on your right hand, your left arm, your forearm is wired up. And then there's a chest one that goes around your heart.
Okay, all right.
And then when it starts, the computer asks the questions. You're facing a wall, and you answer the questions yes or no. So they run the questions by first, and as they ran the questions by, he's going, have you ever taken this drug, that drug, this drug? Have you ever had this kind of enhancement? Have you ever taken anything to it? And then the question is, are you the type of person that would lie if you thought you could get away with it?
That's a trick question. That's a very interesting question, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, I went, things that make you go,
Yeah.
No, I said, no, of course not.
But it is a very interesting question.
Yes.
If you knew beyond a doubt you could get away with it, would you tell the lie?
Would you tell the lie?
Yeah.
And then there's another question. There's 2 or 3 like that. Another one that pops up is, would you be dishonest to a friend if you thought it was necessary?
Well,
yeah.
Wouldn't
everybody?
What's necessary, right?
Yeah, what is?
Yeah,
what's how clean is this question? So you really have to clear your mind. And I said to them, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
I said, that's a difficult question.
Honey,
He goes,
how do I look in these jeans?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Oh, they're awesome. They're awesome.
Hello, Jordache. Beautiful.
Yes.
There's never a good answer to that question.
So I said, those are tough questions. And he goes, you have to take these questions as they're asked you and think what you have done in the last 2 weeks. And you're responding according to this competition in the last 2 weeks. And it helps clear your mind that you're really dealing with the topic.
So you're not, the question really isn't, have you ever lied in your life?
That's right.
It is,
and unless you clarify that, you can't get your mind to take out the past.
But because if you say, I have never, ever told a lie.
Oh, yeah, and then the machine breaks.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Because there are those little white lies that we've all told to help somebody.
Well, there's,
right?
we know what a lie is, and one of the toughest questions is how do you respond to the fact that it says, well, okay, it's a small, young Jewish boy, and they've come to the door, and they've asked, is your grandfather home? And what does the boy say to the Nazi representative from the police unit?
That's a great example.
During Germany's control.
Think about all the lying that went on there.
Yeah. So
you're
it's like, no, you have to put it in the right context.
That is a very good point. Obviously, we all know the difference between good lying and bad lying, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's very interesting. Somebody is asking here and actually saying, and it would be interesting to see what your take is on this. I'm assuming when Cliff competed in 1993, there were plenty of people using steroids.
Yes, and there was no polygraph either.
Right, you didn't.
No,
it was almost
didn't have it.
Okay.
Yeah,
they didn't want to know.
Yeah. And the coloring wasn't sprayed on. You literally wiped it on. It was stuff you got on a bottle. And
let me ask you: at that time, was there ever a point in your life where you used that sort
never.
of?
I've never,
Yeah.
ever.
I knew that.
You don't strike me as
No.
a guy who would. No.
It's health all the way. Matter of fact, I about 5 years ago I stopped even taking vitamin pills. Because there's some vitamin pills that really are questionable what they do for you. So
if you're eating healthy, you probably, unless you have a medical
getting the
deficiency.
natural vitamin.
Well, now I don't want anybody out there thinking I'm eating healthy. I love pizza.
That's healthy. That's healthy.
I've had a lot of apple cinnamon cider donuts since this competition.
Well deserved.
Oh, well deserved,
So we've got a comment from Lance and Lee. He said, let Cliff know that while his physique is impressive, his head of hair is even more impressive.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Even I'm losing it back here.
Lance, I'm with you on that. Adam Ellis speaks incredibly. Adam is the chiropractor that I have gone to. Without that, I don't know where I would be without Adam. But it speaks incredibly highly of you and talks about how you're in such great shape that people just wouldn't want to mess with you.
Well,
that's a good place to be.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. I think some of it isn't about your shape, because when you put a winter coat on, it's your focus of life, how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
And I encourage people all the time. We've got a new, and isn't it funny? This is a good segue into it. I'm working right now, have been for the last 2 months. It'll take another 4 months to complete it, on a women's self-defense video that will be released hopefully by this summer, because it really is about attitude, how you carry yourself, how you walk, how you look around, and how you stay alert to your surroundings. So I think one of the things that deters people from looking at people like me as a target is simply my self-confidence in my realm, wherever I am.
Yep.
All right? And so if you're doing that,
it's important.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Well, also because you could, take some down pretty quick.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to tell them too quickly because I want to get close enough so that I can.
Well, one of the commercials that you have that airs on our station that's my favorite is "Go ahead, underestimate me."
Yeah.
And
I have a T-shirt that says, go ahead, underestimate me.
Yeah.
Underestimate me. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Well, I feel like the how you present yourself, how your confidence, how you're aware of your surroundings, all of these things are very, very important. Your book, you have a book out already that actually addresses women and their self-defense.
Yes, we have the women's self-defense book,
which I
immediately
gave to my daughter because you until you have a daughter, you don't realize they grew up in a house with boys. So we just didn't think about that, but all of a sudden, wife and daughter, there always is, not could be, there's always someone out there that could possibly be looking for an opportunity.
And one of the things we're saying right now, and we're not pigeonholing any gender. Men and women are equal. I give you that. And that's because our brains equalize both of us. We're the same. But whether we like it or not, the scumbags of the world are selective and will choose a woman first. As a weaker target.
A victim,
Not that she is. She could actually defend herself better than me.
Right.
She may be very strong, quick, and agile and alert. But the fact is, she's still a target first. She walks down the right side of the street. I walk down the left. She is a target. I'm not.
Right.
If they have a choice. The lions and the tigers, they seek out the weak, the small, the young, and that's what they do. And in our culture, human beings in this world will seek out a woman before they seek out a man as a target.
Well,
for
all you really have to do is look at the statistics, right? I mean, it's all there.
Yeah, it's there.
So, but
that'll be in the spring. I would love to touch base with you when I get that video out.
Let's do it.
As far as this is concerned, I wanted to mention one other thing. a block and a half after my competition with my 2 glass trophies in the back seat. My wife pulled the car over, said, "There's one right there." And she goes, "Oh, all right." She pulled the car over, went across the street. In the car, I'm getting off my sandals because this stuff they spray me is all sticky, and I'm putting on sneakers, and she's coming back out with pizza.
Okay.
I told you.
There's one right there.
I told you.
was your reward.
It's a pizzeria.
It's a pizza. And I was eating pizza before we left Syracuse. And I did not have a problem with that. Everybody said my stomach wasn't going to be ready for it because of the diet. Oh, no.
Listen, I wrestled in high school, so you'd bring one gym bag that was your clothing. That was the little one. The big one had all your food. And after you'd complete, you couldn't do that. Even though you want to eat after weighing in, not a good idea.
No,
but after you wrestled,
then you
would eat.
Yeah,
and
the one thing I did eat that did not settle well, and this will give you and I was told, and I wasn't allowed to have it for the 3 months prior at all, and that was cereal.
Interesting.
Most cereals are simply a bowl of sugar.
I know.
And within 2 days afterwards, I thought I'd have a bowl of cereal. I hadn't had a bowl of cereal in 3 months. I had a bowl of cereal. I was sick to my stomach for about 3 hours.
Wow. Well, I got to tell you that one of the things that I find you kind of did the same type of low carbs, high protein. When you go on one of those low carb diets, and then you begin to eat carbs, you will be sick.
Yeah, you have to take it nice and easy.
You will spend time in the bathroom, and it can really mess with you. So.
Yep. Well, I did a musical routine in this, too, and it's the last thing that I wanted to mention because people don't, and they've seen it on the website. We have my...
What is the website?
AMAI-eaglestyle.com.
Okay.
American Martial Arts Institute. You look it up. Our Facebook website, and if you go to that, you will see the musical routine. I picked intellectual, deep thought music, AC/DC,
nice,
Thunderstruck.
I love it.
I love that. I like that.
That is very intellectual.
You do a 60-second routine. And there was 20-some competitors on the wings, and we're all doing it. And you don't get judged on it. It's part of the entertainment for all the people that have shown up to watch.
Yeah.
And so I went out, and normally you choose your music, you walk out, you do a pose. You choose your music, you walk out, you do a pose. You hold it. I went out, and I put some of Hansu, an old Korean kata, Hansu, old choreo, Come Gang, and a move from Matrix into a musical routine. And when I was done, I came out, and every single one of the competitors had their hands up and fist bumped me and said, "That was the most amazing thing we've seen in our life. We have never seen a competitor take another athletic endeavor, sport, combine it with bodybuilding, and show it on stage." And they had never done anything like that, and they loved it. The audience went crazy. And when I did the Matrix move, bring it on, bring it on, they cheered and screamed, for that. And at that moment, I thought, this is really worth doing. I love this.
So awesome.
This is great.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so very much. And for having me back.
And we'll do it again. And I hope you come into our Christmas show.
Yeah, we've got a Christmas. I'll be in touch with you. We got a Christmas show every year, so I'd like to have you back.
All right.
That'd be nice.
What a great job. And pizza tastes so good afterwards.
Anytime. What a reward.
What a reward. All right. Cliff Crandall. Awesome. And we'll post some pictures up on our website. WIBX950.com. Davey, let's do Hope Micah's free money question of the day. Caller number
8.
Eighth caller through the lines right now. 315-736, $200 on the line. Caller number 8 at 315-736-0186.
Twin Ponds Golf and Country Club, your home for weddings, banquets, and of course, 18 holes out on the greens. And now you don't have to depend on Mother Nature's cooperation. You can drive and putt inside with their new True Golf indoor big screen golf simulators. Located at the Tap-In Bar and Grill at Twin Ponds. Looking for more than just golf? Check out their new multi-sport simulator. Remember, Twin Ponds has leagues starting in January. Swing in and play today. Online at twinpondsgolf.net. twinpondsgolf.net. That's twinpondsgolf.net.
Looking for some heart-healthy energy? Try supporting your blood pressure with Superbeats Heart Chews. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in Superbeats are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. Double your potential with Superbeats Heart Chews. Get a free 30-day supply of Superbeats Heart Chews and 15% off your first order by going to getsuperbeats.com and using code LISTEN. That's getsuperbeets.com, code LISTEN.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
this is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Are you or a loved one dealing with physical issues? Are you about to have a corrective surgery? Be prepared and take the stress out of recovery. Visit Home and Hospital Medical Supply in the new Hartford Shopping Center. From mobility aids to home safety equipment, they carry it all. Whether it's a heating pad for back relief or a knee brace for that sports injury, they now even have light therapy equipment to fight seasonal depression. Home and Hospital Medical Supply. Care with convenience. Online at hnhmedicalny.com.
Need new tires for winter? Then visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair today. Now through December 14th, save up to $70 instantly when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone, Blizzak, or Firestone Winter Force tires. Save up to $100 instantly when you use your CFNA credit card. Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair located in South Utica, Yorkville, Rome, Herkimer, and downtown Utica. And online at tolmanstire.com. Offer valid November 15th to December 14th, 2023. Cannot be combined with other offers. See store for details, subject to credit approval.
Dell's Cyber Monday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want?
I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now, get Bartesian's best holiday deal ever when you go to bartesian.com/sips. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best holiday deal ever. It's available right now only at bartesian.com/sips. That's BARTESIAN.com/sips for Bartesian's best holiday deal ever. Only at bartesian.com/sips.
WIBX 950 and 1069 FM. This is Keeler.
So we'll deal with a little wintry-like weather today. Nothing crazy. And then tomorrow it'll be 45 and sunny. And 40s through the weekend with some rain possible. Any of the snow that's out there, at least down here in the valley, will be gone pretty quickly. If you're in the North Country, it's probably going to hang around for a little while.
Yep.
Let's do Hobica's free money question of the day. It's a chance for you to win $200 this morning. $200 from Joseph and Andrew Hobica at 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. Kevin is in New Hartford. Hello, Kevin. Good morning.
Good morning.
You ready to go?
I hope so.
I think you are. Okay, this is very simple. It's for $200. $200. Get it right, and you'll walk away a winner. You'll have 7 seconds to answer the question. Andrew, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here is your question. Listen carefully. Carl Douglas, best known for what? Ready, go.
Fortunately, I don't know that name. Trying to take it right.
I wonder if I would have phrased it differently. If I would have said, listen to 10 seconds of this and name that tune. Here we go.
Yeah, Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Fighting.
Kung Fu Fighting, Carl Douglas. Yeah, and I just thought you might have grabbed it because, although he's, an obscure artist, I thought you might have grabbed it with Cliff in here this morning. But, well, what are you going to do?
Everybody was Kung Fu Fighting.
Yeah. That was a big hit in the 70s.
Still is to some.
Yeah, I guess. We're going to give you the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun card, which is awesome, especially this time of year. You get an extra $5 when you buy one. Just go to any of the participating restaurants or the Utica Comets, who are home tonight. The Comets are home tonight. Aquavino, Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill, Taylor and the Cook, concession stands at Nexus and the Adirondack Bank Center, and the gift shop as well. So stand by, and Davey's going to hook you up there, Kevin.
Okay, thanks a
All
lot.
right. Thank you, Kevin. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too, guys.
All right, thanks. Carl Douglas, Kung Fu Fighting. I know you love that song.
I do, and I knew Carl Douglas sang it, but if you had just said it to me, who's Carl Douglas, I don't know that I would have got it right away.
I think I would have. I would have known. But you also could have come up with. I think he's an Olympic track star.
Really?
No, I don't know. I have no idea. I might have said that, is what I'm saying, but I would have known the answer to that one. Okay, there is an issue out there right now, and it is spreading around. I don't know that it's here yet, but it is spreading around the country, and the fear is that because of the upcoming holiday, the previous holiday, Thanksgiving, and all the travel, and of course we're going to be dealing with the next month of holiday travel, that this will spread. And we're talking about a flu virus, but it is called dog flu. And yes, it affects people's pets. And it seems to be a bit on the scary side. So on right now is Dr. Dan Gilchrist with the Waterville Veterinary Clinic. We want to get to the bottom of it. There are pet owners out there. I've heard from several on this issue to dig in. So here we are. Dr. Dan, good morning.
Good morning.
Did you know Carl Douglas, by the way?
No way.
Yeah.
You know, but everybody knows the song.
Everybody knows the song.
Oh, we don't get the same shows you do up there.
Fair enough. All right. So, what do you know about this dog flu?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I shouldn't say that. There's no new. There's many investigations going on right now into the causative agent, but they still don't know exactly what's causing it. So there's thought that it's a virus because it's not responding to antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also some investigations in New Hampshire where they believe it's a small bacterium. At least that's what they're investigating. Also, mycoplasma has been implicated, which is a small bacterium. So basically, we are not sure what's causing it. They're still doing some investigative work all across the country in Oregon, Colorado. New Hampshire has a good study going, and people are sending the data into them from all across the country to try and get to the bottom of it quickly.
What are the symptoms, and how dangerous is it for someone's dog?
Well, it's sort of like COVID. It's an upper respiratory infection. It starts out as some animals whose immune system is compromised. It can develop into pneumonia. It can cause mortality. But it's not. They're not seeing a high rate of mortality at present, but a fairly high rate of infection in different areas of the country. I can't say that we've seen any in our practice, but we've seen a few cases where the cough has been persistent and hasn't responded well, and they've gone to Cornell and had some long drawn out procedures and treatments gotten over it. But so we may have seen it, but we're not sure.
And very interesting how similar this is to COVID. And the obvious question is, can it be can it be transmitted from human to dog? But we don't know that yet, right? We have no idea.
Well, I can almost say with 100% surety that no, it's not transmissible from humans to animals or from animals to humans. And COVID is transmissible, but very rarely.
Right,
and,
I think we were hearing
COVID.
Hearing that a little bit during COVID, where your dog or your pet could have gotten COVID, but it seemed like that was very rare.
Correct. Yeah. And you still, if there's a respiratory condition going on, you take precautions. Isolate your dog so he's not around other dogs, and he or she's not around other dogs, and wash your hands and take precautions.
Yeah.
Don't put a mask on your pet, though.
Don't put the mask. Okay.
They won't like that very much.
I'm sorry, your dog has to be 6 feet away.
So other than isolation, Doc, that's other preventative measures for this specific type of flu?
Yes. I would make sure that if your animal's around other animals, that you take care of all their vaccines, like distemper, which has some respiratory. Distemper vaccine is actually a 4-way vaccine with different respiratory virus particles in that vaccine to give them some immunity there. There's also the canine influenza vaccine and Bordetella vaccines if they're going to be around other dogs in boarding situations or going to grooms and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And the influenza vaccine we've been off on being an availability, but right now it's available. So that's something I would look at. But and also the same precautions you would with COVID. If your dog's sick, keep him home, isolate him. Don't go if you have an older dog, probably avoid areas where there's a lot of dogs, especially if he's fragile or sick at all.
So very interesting. So there is a vaccine available for your pet. That's very interesting.
Well, it's not available for this particular complex.
Not for this, but for the flu.
Yeah, it's for canine influenza. It's been around for a long time, but it doesn't vaccinate against this disease. There's no vaccine against this. They haven't isolated it yet, so we don't have a vaccine for it.
Okay. Mike says Dr. Dan did not know Kung Fu fighting, but I bet he knows Ted Nugent's cat scratch fever. So that's funny. Here's a question.
I know Gordie Howe and Bobby Hull.
Okay, that's cool. So
don't forget Wayne Gretzky either.
So Wayne Gretzky as well, big hockey fan. I want to ask you something. This is off topic. Have we gotten everything on the dog flu? I think there's everything that we don't know that much at this point, basically.
Yeah, well, we know a lot about preventative and things to do, but we don't too much. We know a lot about the causative agent. We just haven't isolated it yet.
So I want to just talk about, for just a moment, my wife's cat. And so COVID, everybody's home. For quite some period, everybody was home. Then everybody went back to work. And the weirdest thing happened. All of a sudden, my wife's cat started urinating. Never had happened before. We thought that there was something maybe medically, and I know that she comes down to your place. And she was buying anti-anxiety stuff, all of this. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Are we going this far? But it was bad. It was to the point where the cat would sit right there and do that and like ruin a chair. And we had thrown out a couple of chairs because of it, because you just can't have that smell. Anyway, she did everything. We were trying to give the dog pills. That did not go well every night. But somehow, and we thought at this point, this cat has become, we don't know why the cat has become dirty. We're going to have to end up getting rid of the cat. We can't live like this. So, Doc, all of a sudden, it just ended. Like, it's been 2 years, 3 years maybe. It just ended. Why would a cat do that, and why would it just end? And I'm talking no meds, nothing. It just ended.
Well, there are syndromes in cats where they get an inflamed urinary tract without any infection. Could have been that. It could be something. It sounds more like it's a behavioral issue.
Yeah.
Everybody home and then everybody leaving. So it's more like a separation anxiety issue. It sounds like.
And that is so funny because if you look at this cat, I swear to God, cats are funny. I mean, they don't
They're
want
clever.
you. They don't want you anywhere around until they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really quite interesting.
Well, dogs drool and cats rule.
That is great. All right, Dr. Dan.
Well,
you
I do have to say really quickly, selfishly, Dr. Dan did take care of our family dog, Jeter. Unfortunately, Jeter, after 14 years, passed away, but our family is forever grateful for Dr. Dan and his staff, always taking care of little Jeter, the Shih Tzu. So from my family, we really appreciate you as always, Dr. Dan.
Thank you so much. I believe animals are spiritual, and I believe they have a spirit, so I don't think you've seen the last of them.
Yeah, wow. Well, how about when we look at names of dogs? How many dogs came into your clinic and had the name Jeter?
Everybody from New York had one named Jeter.
Yeah, everybody. It became big around here. So, all right.
I don't think.
Doc, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dr. Dan Gilchrist. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a great day. And it's a Waterville Veterinary Clinic. And there you go. That's what we know about this dog flu. And I don't think it's the last that we'll be talking about it.
No, hopefully it doesn't get to the point where it gets too severe to the point of dogs passing away. But just be mindful, be vigilant.
Davey, did you have a dog named Jeter?
No.
I'm surprised.
Yukon.
Ah, interesting.
Okay. All right.
You figure with me being a Yankee fan,
I would have thought immediately you would have a dog named Jeter. So.
No, this dog was given to us. It was where my dad used to work years ago. Was going to get beaten, and we took it in and said, he said my kids would love the dog, and
so it was basically a rescue. You rescued that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the dog already have the name Yukon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, a nice little deed there, Davey. Pretty cool. A dog rescuer. Davey, I never saw it coming.
Good man.
Yeah.
Not me, my dad.
Well, all right, your dad. I saw that coming.
Rescued by association.
Yes. All right. Okay, Davey. Thank you, man. And we got a break. We have news coming up, a whole bunch next hour. Ryan Nobles from NBC coming up. Legal expert Andrew Reed as well.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Crash involving a U.S. military Osprey aircraft. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This one went down just off a Japanese island with a crew of 6 on board.
Japan's Coast Guard conducting a search and rescue operation after finding a debris field of wreckage.
Fox's Griff Jenkins.
There were multiple fishing boats in this area. Local fishermen say they found some of the crew members whose condition is unknown, but Japan's Coast Guard now confirming that at least one has died.
There have been at least 5 fatal crashes involving the military Osprey aircraft since 2012, including one in August that killed 3 Marines. It's the 6th and maybe final day of the ceasefire in Gaza. Hamas set to release another 10 hostages in a swap for Palestinian prisoners. Among those freed so far, Abby owns 2 young cousins, and she tells Fox,
Look, they weren't wounded, which is positive, but they were malnourished. They came home much skinnier than they were 52 days prior. But they're in one piece, and they're home with their mother.
But their father is still among the almost 160 still held captive after last month's terror attack that started the war, as negotiations continue to keep Gaza quiet.
Looking at the next couple of days, we'll be focused on doing what we can
to extend the pause so that we can continue to get more hostages out and more humanitarian assistance in.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken at NATO headquarters in Brussels, where they're also in talks to give Ukraine more aid in the fight against Russia. Now, the Senate keeps trying to work out more assistance for Israel and Ukraine, but another issue is holding it up.
Democrats' refusal to address the crisis at the southern border.
Republican Senate Leader Mitch McConnell amid another wave of migrants crossing the border illegally in Arizona and Texas in recent days. The head of Homeland Security is going to go to Texas today. Now that COVID isn't what it was, we're living longer on average. The Centers for Disease Control says U.S. life expectancy rose last year to 77 years, 6 months. It had dropped the prior 2 years during the pandemic. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And feel the difference of Relief Factor.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 8:03. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, it's 23 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. The State Attorney General's office says patients at Crouse Health might have been impacted by a data breach. The breach impacted medical transcription company Perry Johnson and Associates, and Social Security numbers, insurance, and clinical information were all compromised. That data can be used by criminals to cause financial harm and impersonate people. Anyone who believes they've been victimized can call 877-438-4338 for help. A lot of people will be making charitable donations during the holidays, and one state agency has issued tips to help folks avoid scams. The Division of Consumer Protection says one important thing is to check out the legitimacy of the charity you want to give money to. Also designate any donations you make to ensure money will be used for its intended purpose. And never disclose personal information such as credit card or social security numbers when responding to an unsolicited charitable request. Syracuse University has officially announced who is going to be leading the school's football program into the future. Fran Brown, who is currently the defensive backs coach at the University of Georgia, will be leading the Orange next season. Brown has never been a head coach and replaces Dino Babers, who was fired earlier this month. The terms of Brown's contract have not been made public, and his introductory news conference is scheduled for this Monday. Finally, one of the most popular comedians on the planet is bringing his tour to Syracuse next year. Sebastian Maniscalco will perform at the On-Center War Memorial Arena on November 17th, 2024. Maniscalco is known for his stand-up specials, also his roles in films such as the Super Mario Brothers movie and The Irishman. Seats for his show go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. WIBX 950 News Time, 8:05. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, and is brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. For today, blustery and cold as lake snow in the morning shifts well north. Then some lingering light snow showers and flurries in the afternoon. Little, if any, new snow accumulation, high of 32. Tonight, mostly cloudy, mainly snow-free, low 28. And tomorrow, partly cloudy, not as cold, a bit breezy at times, a high near 45. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Mostly cloudy skies, 23 degrees. It is 8:06. Sports brought to you by Country Suburban. We'll start with the Syracuse Orange basketball team. They stopped LSU at the JMA Wireless Dome. Final score 80-57. Their record improves to 5-2. They'll visit Virginia on Saturday. Meanwhile, the star quarterback of the Jets will consider a return from injury if the team has a chance to make the playoffs. Rodgers told the Pat McAfee Show yesterday his health comes first. Then the question becomes if the team is in it and could make a run at the postseason. The Jets have a 4-7 record and currently trail the Colts, who are 6-5 for that final wild card spot in the AFC. New York will host the Falcons Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Meanwhile, in the NFL, a rookie on the Giants is being recognized for his Week 12 performance. Jalen Hyatt has been nominated for Rookie of the Week following his breakout performance against the Patriots. The receiver caught 5 passes for 109 yards in that 10-7 victory over the Patriots at MetLife Stadium. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has named the modern era semifinalists for the class of 2024. Julius Peppers and Antonio Gates headlined the group of 25 players, along with fellow first-time semifinalist Tiki Barber. Jared Allen, Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Torrey Holt, Patrick Willis, Willie Anderson, and Darren Woodson all return as semifinalists after failing to be inducted last year. WIBX 950 News Time, 8:08.
All right, coming up, we'll go through 3 really good, I think, recent news stories that are legal stories. Andrew Reed is coming on in a second. I like this guy. He's our legal expert, and he takes 3 stories and explains. And these are stories that sometimes may affect us down the road. And we have 3 doozies, including one good one, Davey. We're going to start off with a goodie. I'm kind of liking it. You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Okay, 8 after 8. Hold on. We'll come right back with that on WIBX.
Who doesn't love a great deal? We all do. And that's why Bremer's Wine and Liquor has carefully selected 8 very special wines and priced them under $8. Sure, we already offer hundreds of wines for less than $8, but these 8 wines are truly remarkable, handpicked by our experts. You'll be amazed by the quality you're getting for such a low price, including award winners like Wine Spectator Best Values and wines rated 90 points or higher by Wine Enthusiast. Reds, whites, rosés, whatever you're into, you'll find it. And we're constantly updating our 8 under 8 selection to help you discover more new wines for less money. All of our 8 under 8 are wines you'll love and want to share with friends. They're all hand-selected, deeply discounted, and they drink like you paid a lot more. Hey, you've got good taste, and so do we, for under $8. Adventure into great new wines with our 8 wines under $8 at Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
We are proud to serve our country, to serve our local communities, to wear the uniform, to be a soldier, to serve abroad when and where duty calls. We are ready to stand with our brothers and sisters to defend, to serve, to fight. We're always ready. We're always there. We are the New York Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New York Army National Guard.
Why get an updated COVID vaccine? If you're 65 or older, a COVID vaccine can keep you out of the hospital. And if you have heart disease, a COVID vaccine can help you stay healthy. With COPD or other lung diseases, getting a COVID vaccine can keep you off a ventilator. Anyone can get severely ill from COVID. But some people are more at risk. Know your risk and make sure you're up to date on your COVID vaccine. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Have you heard? AmeriQ members save more, earn more, and have more ways to stay connected than ever before. Because real connections matter. Online, in person, and everywhere in between. Save more with a high-interest deposit account. Earn more with an AmeriConnect Visa credit card with rewards. And with easy account access through our virtual financial center. You can stay connected with AmeriQ wherever your life takes you. AmeriQ and you. Let's connect. Visit ameriq.org/join to get started.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, I got a bunch of stuff to get to. We have comments and some good ones. We have Andrew Lee. Is he? He's ready to go.
Reed.
All right. Reed. Who's Andrew Lee? Do you know him?
Andrew Lee's
I've never heard of
his
him.
cousin.
No. We have Andrew Reed coming up. We have a ton of comments, interesting comments. We have a voicemail from Ellie Mae.
Another one?
Another one.
Oh, boy.
This one, I don't know if I should even air. I'm serious.
Oh, my gosh.
She is a character.
We have to find her. David,
how old did she
you
say?
live in Rome.
You must know her. Who's Ellie Mae?
I only know Ellie Mae Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh. Okay. All right, that's funny.
I think she said 86?
86 years old.
Yeah.
Yesterday, she was. We have that. I have the debut of the Real Men Get Tested TV commercial. Real men get tested for cancer. Don't be a wuss. Get it done. It could save your life and put many, many years on your life. It really could. So we'll debut it, and I'll try to get it up on YouTube. I think we might be able to do that. I don't know. But I do know that you can go to our website and check it out. It's up there, and watch it. We'll watch it on the radio here in a few minutes. Very excited. Tim Reed, who's my partner in Real Men Get Tested.
Oscar-winning performance.
It's an Oscar-winning performance. In fact, I think the Ring Company might pick this up and be like, we're gonna invest in this. Because it
at the very least make a contribution. Come on,
they
Ring.
should, because the commercial is called The Ring. The Ring.
I like it. I like it a lot.
App or whatever. The doorbell ring. Okay, let's go to Andrew Reed, and it's a weekly legal segment that we do, and he's on the line right now. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. This story on Frontier Airlines, you get some doozies on Frontier. Cause
you get what you pay for.
Because, to be honest with you, they're paying you to fly at this point. So the woman, we had this story earlier in the week, she drops her pants and is like, I'm sorry, I gotta do it. I gotta go. And she begins, or threatens anyway, to pee in the aisle. So what happens to this woman? What's the legal take on this one, Andrew?
There are many different ways this could go because, one, there potentially, what the reports I saw and the video clips that were available, it's questionable as to whether there is an issue of were the bathrooms actually available or not. It's hard to tell on the video, was she trying to, for example, I will be honest, I've never flown on Frontier Airlines, so I don't know if they have a first class or not, but it appears she's trying to go towards the front of the plane versus the back of the plane. That could have been creating some issues for security reasons. So there's a number from the federal level for FFA rules as well as the airline. Then you get into the passengers that were around that woman and some of the issues that were brought up. Apparently there was a child present. So there's all sorts of issues that can come up and claims that can be brought because of those actions that occurred and the harm that arguably could have been caused. So this is one, it could go any number of different directions.
So it seemed like she couldn't wait any longer, right?
That's what it seemed like, yet one of the videos that was attached to one of the reports that I read on this showed that she sat there after she was stopped and she stood back up. She sat there and argued with someone for several seconds there afterwards. And it's like, you really were that desperate. Why are you sitting there arguing?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. We have 3 children, and one of them would sleepwalk. And
That's
one night,
a scary thing.
One night, the one child, I don't want to name the child, even though it's my child. One night, they were sleepwalking into our bedroom, pulled open my nightstand drawer, and was starting to go to the bathroom, thinking it was the toilet. Luckily, we were able to stop
Oldest,
them.
middle, younger.
So I wonder if maybe she was having some sort of a sleepwalking incident, or was she fully conscious?
At least from the video, it appears
it did. Yeah,
fully conscious. But of course, there are ways that could appear that way, and it actually isn't. So,
well, it depends on what level of consciousness, because the effects of alcohol can sometimes
and so can gummies
increase
and that sort of thing
at high altitudes.
You do remember that movie? What was the movie where the women went off? That was Bridesmaids. I mean, she saw that prairie woman out on the wing, and
there's a colonial woman on the wing.
I believe it's Ma and Pa out there on the half pint.
There's something on the wing.
Topic number 2. I want to go out of order. Do you mind if I do that, Andrew?
Go right ahead.
Number 3, Pentagon official overseeing federal schools arrested in Georgia.
Oh my
human trafficking sting. What is going on here?
Yeah, so this was a Pentagon official that oversees the Department of Defense's educational department, which effectively oversees schools in some of our territories, for example, some of the Pacific Islands, as well as schools that are on our bases, for example, in very rural areas where there's not access to other public schools. So the military does provide schools when it's necessary. There's not educational facilities nearby. And, this individual was caught in this sting operation that was set up to catch those that are involved in trafficking in the human sex world trade, and as well as those that, it's the way the reports say, purchase those services. So that's what this was set up to catch individuals, and this gentleman was caught in that situation.
Well, listen, if you're a pedophile, if you're a human trafficker, if you're someone who is trying to groom children to take them for nefarious reasons, you don't hang out at an old folks' home, right? The place you go to is where you can find children, and that's the scary part of all of this.
I will agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah. And then finally, the last topic, we've had more people in our audience talking about this, more people disappointed and bothered over Hall & Oates and the breakup, basically, between Daryl Hall and John Oates.
I just can't go for that.
So Hall & Oates singer Daryl Hall's temporary restraining order blocks bandmate John Oates. He's trying to sell to an investment company that buys up catalogs. They already own a portion of the catalog. This would give them full control. And while it looked like Daryl Hall was okay with it for a while, now he's not. Is he going to be able to prevent this sale? What do you think?
we will have to kind of wait and see. This was the complaint, and the part of this injunction was filed under seal, so we can't see it. That means it's filed under seal. It's kept for the judge and the attorneys that are working the case. But most likely there was some type of provision probably that gave some level of control here, and that control aspect may have been violated. There may have been, for example, a first right of refusal or a particular sale price. So there may be terms there that were violated. It may be portions of their catalog that weren't supposed to ever go for sale, and now they are for sale kind of situation. There's any number of ways this could go.
Yeah, boy, it's partnerships are tough, right? Period.
They are.
They always are, and because there's so much give and take here, and now these two seem to have fallen out of friendship, and boy, it seems to be really, really ugly. Interesting.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, Andrew. As always, your stuff is great. We appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day.
You're welcome. Glad to be on.
All right. Thanks so much. Andrew Reed through Fox News Radio. Love that segment. Andrew Derminio has some comments.
I do. And
from people out there this morning.
We're going to go way back to when we were talking about the the new Syracuse.
Should I play Ellie Mae's voicemail?
Well, I think you should think about it when we're going, because there's one final comment that maybe lends weight to that.
Okay.
To make
all right.
your decision.
All right.
Okay, so this one is from John in Bridgewater. This was back when we were talking about the new Syracuse hire. Bill give the guy a chance. If he sucks, he sucks. Nothing new for Syracuse year after year, kind of like Buffalo. Sorry, it's just an opinion.
Well, there is the point here, and I wonder what Davey thinks about this. A lot of people had very little coaching experience. In some cases, none.
Look at Sean McDermott.
And they became great coaches. Now, Sean McDermott might be a bad example right now because
he's on the hot seat.
He's on the hot. People are really after him for. You know what I think happens with McDermott? And I'd like your opinion. They get to the point, and this happened. Now, to be fair, a brief little aside. To be fair, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Bills' comeback and win was their fourth straight come-from-behind second-half victory. So they have the ability to do it, and they certainly did it against the Bills. But what I seem to see happen in the last couple of games where the Bills had trouble in the second half is McDermott takes his foot off the gas. Completely changed almost going into, I wouldn't call it a stall like you see in basketball, but it's somewhat similar.
It's like a prevent.
Everything, it's we're going to give you room, but we're not going to give you enough to score. Well, I don't know. The room you're giving them gives them a first down. Okay, now they're getting another first down. Now all of a sudden they're in the red zone, and I just feel like he needs to keep it up,
especially on defense. Pressure. Keep bringing the pressure to the quarterback.
That is what put the Bills in the position to win that game, and he took the pressure off in the second half. Davey, your take.
They need to hire a defensive coordinator.
Okay,
because he
needs to focus on the whole
picture. He needs to focus on the team, not the defense.
However, what I was going to say,
you are right on that point
about Syracuse, and hey, Boeheim never had any real coaching experience.
Nope.
Right? Look at all the coaches who, Bill Belichick was a failed football coach, but he had experience.
Yeah,
He got Tom Brady.
and then he got Tom Brady, and now he's a failed football coach again without Brady. But, you never know, right? So, John, you may very well be, and I hope you are correct.
Brian in Little Falls, back when we were talking about veterinary clinics and emergency services, Brian says, I had to take my dog to Cornell Vet School, which has 24/7 emergency.
They do.
They were great.
Wow, that's a place where stuff is created, theories and procedures and that sort of thing.
I think it's one of the best veterinary schools in the country.
That's a big deal there.
John from Rome, the name of the movie with the original Charlie Bucket was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yep.
Johnny Depp's version was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Lance and Lee commenting, here we go again. This is when we were on with Dr. Dan talking about the dog flu. Lance and Lee saying, here we go again. Tony Pacenti will be mandating masks for dogs now.
That's funny.
And finally, our final comment, our latest comment, Sir in Utica saying, I thought yesterday Ellie Mae was a prank call. I thought you would have checked her out. Now you say you have another voicemail. Sending a voicemail is easier to prank than calling in, and speaking with someone sounds suspicious that this one was a little more quirky.
Well, let's listen to what she has to say.
Some people don't want to talk on the phone live and in person.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know who's who. I'm going to just be honest with you. We hear, is Lance and Lee, is that his real name?
Is he even real?
Who is that person that just said that?
Sir, S-U-R.
Sir, S-U-R. Are you really sir?
Are you sure you're
Probably
sir?
Not. Probably not. I mean, I don't know who's who, to be honest with you. Have we been pranked before? Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
have you done pranks before?
Hell yeah. So there you go. Take it for what it is. Ellie Mae in Rome, another voicemail. Here we are.
This is Ellie Mae. Tell Lance and Lee to kiss my ass. I've had enough of him. Sorry, but I have to be honest. You guys do an amazing job. Okay, bye-bye.
To me, that is no prank call. She's just calling it like it is.
She's relative. I mean, she's clearly relatable to the show.
She's had enough of you, Lance. So stop right now.
Don't stop commenting, but stop with the attitude.
Let me
Come
break.
on.
It's 8:27 at WIBX.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-294-8831 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-294-8831. That's 800-294-8831. What do you have to lose? Call 800-294-8831. Again, 800-294-8831.
The Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is your community foundation. Together, we've invested $125 million in the community, thanks to people, families, and businesses that want to give back and build a brighter future. And you don't have to have big bucks to make a big difference. Join us as we invest in the future of our community. Learn more about your community foundation at foundationhoc.org.
Attention business owners, this is John Souza, CEO of ERTC.com. The Employee Retention Tax Credit Program provides up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. If you're confused about the ERTC program, stop right now. Don't fall for false promises. The bottom line, there is no such thing as guaranteed eligibility. Being innovative with taxes can lead to an audit. All ERTC companies are not the same. The easiest way to know if a company is non-compliant is to ask one simple question. Is the CPA working on my file a W-2 employee of your company? If not, stop right now. Contact ERTC.com. IRS compliance is not an option. At ERTC.com, everything is done in-house by expert CPAs, and there's no cost to get started.
Get your free refund information now. 800-200-6883. 800-200-6883. 800-200-6883. That's 800-200-6883.
Need new tires for winter? Then visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair today. Now through December 14th, save up to $70 instantly when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone, Blizzak, or Firestone Winter Force tires. Save up to $100 instantly when you use your CFNA credit card. Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair located in South Utica, Yorkville, Rome, Herkimer, and downtown Utica. And online at tolmanstire.com. Offer valid November 15th to December 14th, 2023. Cannot be combined with other offers. See store for details, subject to credit approval.
We all like convenience, right? ATMs, takeout food, drive-through pharmacies. Now, Bremer's is making it just as convenient to enjoy your favorite wines and spirits with Bremer's to go. It's simple. Place your order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Order before 5 p.m. for pickup the same day. Hey, you can even call us when you get to the store and we'll bring your order right out and load it in the car for you. Now that's convenience. Maybe you're planning a party. Maybe you want to stock up on your favorite wines. Or you just want to save time when you're out and about. Whatever the reason, at Bremer's, we're all about incredible customer service. So when you're on the go, we are too. Order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 with our mobile app. Order before 5 p.m. for pickup the same day. It's Bremer's to go, available 7 days a week from Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
Steve Ponte Mazda creating the ultimate customer experience, continuing to be their number one goal. And with Mazda's Season of Inspiration sales event, they select their best late model Mazdas for a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle, offering a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Ricky Z says, if you need a lower payment, a lower price, just ask, and he'll say, let's make your deal on a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction. I'll also tell you, that lot is filled with a whole bunch of other brands as well as these Mazdas, which, by the way, certified pre-owned Mazdas, 160-point inspection. Customer satisfaction, they're number one in the nation. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, so we're going to debut a new commercial for our organization called Real Men Get Tested. On the line right now is my partner in the program, Tim Reed. Good morning. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Bill.
It is great to hear from you. It's kind of funny. This commercial that we're going to debut, which will be on television and radio, this commercial we taped maybe about a week ago. And it involves the Ring app and the Ring doorbell.
Yeah. You know from the sound.
Yes, and it is this sound. Of course, Tim, the sound you know. Here we go. Okay. It's that doorbell sound that you get out of the Ring app. Now, what is weird, I was just talking to Dr. Dan about our cat, and what's weird is every time that doorbell rings, the cat goes running. The cat could be upstairs. It'll run all the way downstairs and hide in the basement. It could be wherever. And then all of a sudden it'll pop its head out looking to see who has come to the house because the cat has all this anxiety. In fact, the cat recently got outside, and it's an indoor cat. And my wife's like, oh, my God, the cat's outside. All right. I hit the doorbell. And the cat came running from around the corner of the house, ran right through the door and down into the basement. Like, hello. But you can only imagine, as I'm editing this spot yesterday, Tim, over and over and over and over again, I'm playing that sound, and this cat was going nuts yesterday.
Well, I think the cat knows the way you feel about it, and it's
Right.
probably scared that the Ring is for somebody coming to take it for its final trip.
It may be. That's
Dr. Dan's on the way to get
that
him.
may be.
Yeah.
That may be. So the goal here, Tim, let's talk about the goal for Real Men Get Tested.
So the goal is, and we really thought about it during the holidays in regards to it, that number one, men are not really smart about a lot of things. Just ask my wife. And, one of the things that we do is we're just terrible procrastinators. And to think about really the holidays and really isn't the greatest gift the gift of life, and the ability to be able to take care of yourself and have a lot more years with your family. So that really is the goal. And I thought, to be honest with you, I know you're not used to hearing this, but I think you really were brilliant in regards to the whole scripting of this thing. I thought it was just fantastic.
Wow, you knocked it out of the park. I mean, it takes a great actor to be able to pull off,
If the person executing the script isn't
right.
effective, it doesn't matter.
Well, and for those that don't know or maybe don't remember or maybe you do know, but Tim and I both found out that we had cancer. Tim before me, and then the first person I told, other than my wife, was Tim. And because I just didn't know what to do. And so we've kind of helped each other through all of this process, and then thought, you know what? And this was Tim's idea. It's like we could help other people, maybe. Just getting guys out there to get tested, to get that colonoscopy. Which, by the way, you hit the age of 40. If you have any history of cancer in your family, you should be getting a colonoscopy. And the other part about this, Tim, that is very interesting. If you're 77, 80 years old, they used to tell you, no need to do a colonoscopy. That's changed now. They still want you getting tested. And then, of course, the cancer that you went through is another really easy test.
Right. I mean, both of our cancers are ones that are the cancers that are really easily treatable if you catch them early. And, Bill, I'm trying to remember how many years we've been on this journey, but the amount of people that have come to me who have, you're coming to me for, your remedies. You really, I'm the patron saint of lost causes, I guess.
Yeah.
But, and I know it's happened to you, too, is how many people's lives that I guess in some ways we've touched, which is incredible.
So the organization is called Real Men Get Tested for Cancer, and it is 100% there. Everything goes. It's run through the Community Foundation. Everything goes to the campaign, and unlike we're not doing research. We're not helping people in the way that you might think about an organization. In this case, we're spreading the word and using our journey to be able to spread that word to get out there and get tested, because early detection can save lives. So that's all it is. And it's a 100% tax-deductible donation. If you'd like to give, you go through the Community Foundation. To do it, just say that you'd like the money to go to Real Men Get Tested and help us continue to send this message. I have to say that the holiday campaign is happening because Tim made a large donation, and we appreciate that to be able to get the message out here during the holidays. Pretty awesome. I know you don't like to talk about that, but
I don't.
But I do it for you.
Bill
I'm
will,
sorry.
yes.
All right. So the concept of the commercial is I'm trying to come up with what can we do that's a little bit different? What will we do that is different this year? And Tim always pushes, and I agree with this, it's important to make it a little bit humorous because that catches people's attention. And so the concept is Tim has come to my Ring doorbell and is yelling at me because I'm procrastinating and not getting my test. And I should know better because I've already had cancer. And then I'm trying to explain to him something and he's not listening. And that's the commercial. And again, Tim, I think you sold it incredibly. You can watch it on our website at WIBX950.com. It's worth watching. I think it's quite entertaining. And if I don't say so myself, and here it is. Here's the audio of the commercial, starting with the doorbell that my cat loves so much. Here we go.
Keeler, I know you're in there.
Tim, what are you doing?
Your wife says you're procrastinating and overdue for your cancer screening.
I am doing it, I promise you.
You'd think after you had cancer the first time you'd be smarter than this.
I'm actually prepping for my colonoscopy right now as we speak, and I have to go.
You're not getting rid of me that easily.
I really have to go badly.
This holiday, make the pledge to
Of
get
course, I
tested
run
for
out of the
cancer.
room.
Early detection could save your life.
We need more toilet paper.
Real men get tested for cancer.
Well, that's
Well done.
And listen, if you've been through the prep for a colonoscopy, you know about the bathroom. You spend a lot of time in the bathroom. So, well, there you go, Tim. Great job, man.
So my youngest son asked me, in regards to Ring, he said, do you think they're going to get any royalties? And I said, yes. Unfortunately, the multiplier is 0.
Yeah, that's right. Well, my take on this is we ought to send it to Ring and say, a good $10,000 donation wouldn't cost you much at all. I mean, you could afford it.
Absolutely.
And it is, and it is completely tax deductible. And we are promoting Ring here. Hello. We'll see what happens. So, all right, Tim, great job. Thank you for really inspiring this. It was your idea to do this, and I think it's a great idea.
Thanks, Bill. I mean, you've been kind of the big bullhorn on this, and you appreciate it. And I know there's a lot of people out there. We've talked about this. Is the best gift is you give to somebody you don't even know and they can't say thanks. So that's what it's all about.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Tim. Have a wonderful day.
All right, pal.
All right, thanks. Yeah, that this whole concept of the guys being stubborn started with the fact that I had put off. I had 2 no-shows, and it shows you right up on your portal.
Your portal, yeah.
I had 2 no-shows for a colonoscopy. Didn't do it until I was over 50, and that's when they luckily I did it when I did it, and that's where they discovered the cancer. Davey, how old were you when you had cancer?
It was when 9/11.
Oh, okay, so it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
and you were younger though.
Yeah.
So
I'm 48 now.
One of the things that happens with cancer is people who are in their 50s, 40s and 50s, they get tested. People who are in their 20s and 30s don't think about getting tested. A lot of times,
I maybe should. I think
a lot of times what happens is, and your doctor will tell you you don't need to get tested. You're too young. The percentages show you. But if you're one of those rare cases, people who are younger end up, when they do find out, it's when they're having symptoms to the point where the cancer has developed. That's why I think it's more difficult for young people with cancer, because you never would have thought to have it checked. You're strong. You're younger. You don't feel as bad as early. And you don't think about getting it checked. So anyway, that's the message. I hope the message is out there, and it will be for the holiday season. You can watch that spot up on our website at WIBX950.com. Feel free to share it. However the message gets out there, if it touches just 1 or 2 people, wow, what a difference we may very well have made. Stefan is on the line right now. Good morning. Good morning.
Well, hello, Bill.
Hello, Stefan. What's going on?
And happy holidays. You know what I got for an early birthday present?
What did you get?
It's a glass with Nolan Ryan on it, his baseball card, but he's a Met in this baseball card.
Wow.
And it's signed by Nolan Ryan.
Wow.
And he started his career with the Mets way back in 1966.
Is it a 66 card? Is it his rookie card?
Yes, and he
signed.
finished his career with the Texas Rangers in 1992.
Yeah, he's the one who got away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those trades that, boy, Mets wish they'd have held on to him, right? What are you going to do?
And he was with the 1969 Mets that won the World Series with the Mets for their first championship.
One of the things the Mets are really good at is, and Manaski and I was talking about this, the minute we trade somebody away who's not performing all that well, they become superstars.
Same with
that's
on
just
the football
the way
side.
it is. Yeah.
We usually, in Green Bay especially,
yeah,
our defensive players go to, of all places, Buffalo.
and perform.
Micah Hyde and now Rasul Douglas, and they go over to Buffalo.
Become
and
superstars. All right, anything else, Stephen? Your birthday is what, next Friday?
A week from Friday, December 8th.
How old will you be on the day after Pearl Harbor Day?
I'll be 45.
45 years old.
Wow.
Okay. All right, Stephen, good hearing from you. Hope all is well. You were just recently on a train from New York to Albany, right?
Yes, I did. Actually, I went down to Maryland to see family, and the train from New York to Albany is full go.
It's a full go. It's now working. Yeah. All right.
Yes, it's a full go.
It's a what?
It's up and running and no problem.
All right. So you were saying full go.
Go, not, yeah.
A full go.
Yes.
Okay. Is that an actual term of trains, or is that just something that you said?
Just something that I
Okay. All right.
made up.
All right, cool. All right, well, Stephen, have a wonderful day.
Okay, stay warm out there.
You do the same. Let's go to Ryan Nobles. I believe we're full go on Ryan. Are we? Yes. Yeah. Here he is.
Sure.
Here he is, live. Good morning.
Morning, Bill. I'm as full go as they come.
Yes, you are.
Always ready for you.
Always ready to go, full go. Good morning, Ryan Nobles. Man, you've been on, you're on Nightly News almost every night. You're on Meet the Press often now. You've made several appearances, or at least a handful anyway, on Meet the Press. We're seeing you everywhere.
Yeah, it's been great. I've just passed the year mark at NBC, and it's been one of the best moves of my career. And you're right, I've been given a lot of great opportunities. It's a great team. Specifically, really excited to work with Kristen Wilker on Meet the Press. I think she's done an incredible job taking over for Chuck Todd and ushering in kind of a new era of the program. And to be a small part of it's been really thrilling. So I'm excited about it.
All right. So I wanted to ask you your thoughts. Let's start with Santos. What's going to happen here? What do you think?
Santos, is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's probably going to, there has to, and yet again, that is probably going to happen as soon as tomorrow.
Okay.
And, I think they're in a situation right now where the barrier they have to cross here is a 2/3 majority, and that's no simple task. That's a lot of votes that you have to whip in favor of it, and where I believe that, the vast majority of members of Congress definitely don't want him to be in Congress anymore. I still do think that there's a not insignificant number of members who are concerned about setting a precedent of expelling someone who hasn't been convicted of anything, who has gone through several different investigatory processes, and there's been a ton of evidence leveled against him, but still has not been convicted in a jury trial of any kind. And so I think the preference of the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, would be for him to step away on his own, but that's just not George Santos' style. I think that he's the kind of guy who is taking advantage of every second of his 15 minutes of fame. He came into the office yesterday in full makeup, prepared for the cameras to catch him as he went into his office, and he said that he will wear being the sixth member of Congress, being expelled as a badge of honor. So he's going to go down swinging, and I believe, my gut is that he ultimately gets booted, but with this Congress, you can't predict anything until it actually happens.
Yeah, it is interesting how, we went through a period where if somebody got into some issue of controversy or illegality of some sort, it was an immediate step. They immediately resigned. But I guess maybe since Clinton, when you think about it, it's like, we're going to fight forward, and that's the way it is today. You just fight, I guess, unless you're Al Franken. So I guess there is no trend. It's just individual cases. But here's a guy that is fighting and plowing forward. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I definitely think that the vast majority of these cases, where it used to be when faced with scandal, you'd step aside. There definitely is more of a trend of standing up and fighting, even when the evidence is overwhelming. You know, there have been times where you'd think that the individual at the center of it would never resign. I mean, the most obvious example would be Andrew Cuomo. And, you know, there just became too much, and he ultimately did step aside. I think he probably still regrets that. And I was talking about running for mayor of New York City. But, you know, I think in Santos's case, it's even a little bit different because this is all Santos has. You know, I think one thing that's been uncovered in great detail is his kind of lack of any kind of, you know, foundation of any kind. He doesn't really have a career. He doesn't really have family wealth. He doesn't have, you know, all he has right now is his notoriety and that congressional paycheck. And so he's got to hang on to it for dear life. And I think his thought process in all of this is if he just resigns quietly and goes away, his only real source of income and the only thing that kind of fuels him goes away as well. So that's why I think he's been so defiant in this process because he really doesn't have anything to lose. This is all he's got.
Another topic. Do you know anything about the plane, the military plane that has crashed into the water near Japan? Do you know anything about that?
I don't have any special sort of insight into that.
That seems like breaking news right now. So.
Yeah, I haven't been read in on that completely yet, so I'm going to defer on that if that's okay.
Hunter Biden testifying. What do you think?
Yeah, so I know a lot about that. I'm glad you asked me about that. You know, this is a very unique situation, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how this process plays out. The House Oversight Committee, through the impeachment inquiry, has subpoenaed Hunter Biden to appear. They want him to appear for a closed-door deposition with the maybe perhaps future opportunity to testify in public. And Hunter Biden's lawyer, Abby Lowell, kind of surprised us all yesterday by sending a letter to the committee saying that he's willing to sit down for an interview with the committee, but he wants it to be in the light of day. He wants it to be public. And now we're in a standoff between the committee and Hunter Biden because they would prefer the first step to be a closed-door deposition. And in the defense of the committee, that's normally the way this process plays itself out. And the vast majority of the January 6th witnesses came and sat for transcribed interviews behind closed doors first before they ended up testifying in a public setting, if they ever did testify in a public setting. But I think the unique situation here is that, Hunter Biden is under subpoena, so it's not as if he can just say thanks but no thanks. There is some level of legal obligation for him to respond to the subpoena. But also there is a question about the legality of this process because the impeachment inquiry has not been voted on by a full House. This is something that the Speaker, that then Speaker Kevin McCarthy, unilaterally just decided to initiate. So I think this is headed toward a court battle, and I almost think that maybe that's what both sides want. I think there's real risk for both Hunter Biden, the White House, and the president's reelection campaign if he's in a public setting like this, getting badgered by Republicans about his very sketchy past. But I also think it is a bit of a risk for House Republicans as well, because, you know, if he testifies under oath about these very specific conspiracy theories they have about his background and more importantly, its connection to the president, and he testifies differently than what they have built as a narrative, that also runs a great risk. And the big difference between this committee and the January 6th Select Committee is that there's a whole group of minority Democrats that are going to be there in support of the president who can kind of counteract any of the cross-examination by the Republican witnesses. So I think maybe they just want to fight it out in court and delay this process until after the election, and maybe Hunter Biden never testifies publicly.
Okay, and then finally, I wanted to just get your take on, are we at the point now where it's okay to blame Sean McDermott?
Well, I do think that we are in a window now where his future as the Bills head coach has to be at least up for discussion.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's not taking away anything that he's done to get the team to this point. But if you want a championship and you keep running into the same brick wall, you got to figure out where the changes need to happen. And I think McDermott's the first place you start. Now, I think you can make a lot of complaints about that game on Sunday, but the kind of the over amount of penalties that the Bills took
Oh, my
versus
God.
what the Eagles took.
That was unbelievable.
And yet the Bills still, I think, almost doubled their amount of offensive output in terms of yardage
Mm-hmm.
and time of possession. Part of that is the officiating. We can whine all we want about the officiating, but part of that is coaching. And the whole McDermott, his kind of trusted process, his identity is wrapped up in this discipline and execution. And, you can't blame all of that on the officials. They committed a lot of penalties on Sunday that put them in very difficult situations. And so, there's a lot of season left, but I do not have high hopes for the way this ends. And if they miss the playoffs, Bill, I think there's going to have to be a serious conversation about whether or not Sean McDermott's the head coach.
I think there have been, just in the way Josh Allen was coached this year is problematic. I mean, he's back. They've kind of let him be himself, but this whole thing of changing who he is, and I think they just got into his head, and he got into his own head. I just think that was all precipitated by coaching.
Yeah, and I think the biggest mistake that Sean McDermott made was letting Leslie Frazier go and taking over the defense full time. I think that has left him. I think he thought that Ken Dorsey was in a position where he could take over the offense without any kind of overarching review by the head coach. And there's a reason that there are head coaches in the NFL and defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators. You need a person where the buck stops here who is intimately involved in every aspect of the football team. And I think that Sean McDermott and Josh Allen have a good relationship, and I think that relationship was not strengthened as much this year because he was spending so much time focused on the defense. And I understand he's a defensive-minded coach, and the defense has been pretty good this year, but his number one job is to fear that I have, Bill. I've been a Buffalo sports fan for a really long time. And I've watched big stars come to Buffalo and establish themselves and then get frustrated because they hit this brick wall.
Yep.
And what ends up happening is that sometimes the fan base revolts on that star. The most recent example would be Jack Eichel, who was the star hockey player on the Sabres. And then the star gets frustrated and asks out.
Yep.
And I am so nervous. I think that the way that this season ends in the off season, I am so nervous that the Bills are going to give up on a once-in-a-generation asset like Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
He is the face of this. He is the best and Jim Kelly included, he is the best quarterback this franchise has ever had. The only way they're going to win a Super Bowl is with Josh Allen as quarterback. They need to figure that out.
I agree. Yeah.
What I fear the most is that he's going to start to get antsy, and then the fan base is going to revolt, and then some new GM is going to come in and think better of it and say they needed a fresh start.
And that would
be a huge mistake.
How do you beat his performance on Sunday? I mean, give me a break. I mean,
he
yes, there was
not the problem.
He is not the problem. No, I agree.
That last pass, I mean, there could have been a million things that went wrong there. They absolutely should have won the game there. But, damn, he played a gutsy and unbelievable performance on Sunday. He deserved to win that football game.
Yep, I agree.
You are not going to win it all without Josh Allen. That's all I've got to say about that.
I'm with you. Ryan, enjoy the bye week, and we'll talk again next week.
We need a break, that's for sure.
Yep, no doubt. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Ryan Nobles from NBC. All right, we got to go. Remember, Teddy Bear Toss, Friday night at the Adirondack Bank Center. Davey, let's give away some tickets. I have 2 pairs of tickets to give away from New York Sash for the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. 2 pairs to give away. Caller number 1 and 2 will give you a pair of tickets for Friday night at the Adirondack Bank Center. What do you want me to do?
Go to 50.
Okay. I'll do what you tell me to do, Andrew. I always do.
Yeah. Well, sometimes.
We went a little long. I'm sorry. All right. So caller 1 and 2, pair of tickets to the Teddy Bear Toss. And please, if you go, bring a teddy bear along to throw on the ice when the Pioneers score their very first goal. And the Teddy Bears go a-flying. Back tomorrow. Enjoy your day.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Will the ceasefire be extended again? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It expires today, so talks are ongoing to keep the war in Gaza on hold.
We'll remain focused on enabling the safe departure of American citizens and other foreign nationals from Gaza.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Hamas expected to free 10 more Israeli women and children today.
Former captives telling horror stories. For weeks, there was little food and light, difficult sleeping and sanitary conditions. One young man told of beatings and being forced to watch torture videos. All told, some 60 Israeli women and children, plus others, have been released. It's believed another 160 remain held by Hamas and other groups.
As Fox's Greg Pelcott in Tel Aviv, there's been a search at sea after a U.S. military Osprey aircraft crashed near Japan. Its Coast Guard reports at least one of the 6 crew members on board was found and is dead.
The Osprey is a hybrid aircraft that can take off and land like a helicopter, then rotate its propellers to fly like an airplane. There have been at least 5 fatal Osprey crashes since 2012, causing 19 confirmed deaths. The most recent fatal incident was just 3 months ago. 3 U.S. Marines were killed.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. We just got an update on the economy showing more growth last quarter than expected. The GDP increase revised up to 5.2% from 4.9% in the initial report. President Biden will go to Colorado today to focus on the economy amid low approval ratings on his handling of it. He'll also focus on clean energy, visiting the world's largest manufacturer of wind power towers. He's also giving some Americans a gift.
An email from the president is hitting the inboxes of more than 800,000 student loan borrowers, telling them their loans are forgiven because of actions taken by the administration. A plan to wipe away student debt for millions of Americans was struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court, but the administration has implemented more targeted programs.
That's Jared Halpern.